at the touchstone of college football tradition. Today, on this gridiron of honor, two teams will wage a war in the trenches, determined to fight to the brink of exhaustion. Bulldogs and Aggies. Fresno State brings their wrecking crew into the hallowed Texas A&M Stadium, where the tandem of thunder and lightning will once again continue their bruising attack.
Oh, my goodness.
Aggie quarterback Stephen McGee is a double threat as well. But the Bulldogs fear no man, even a 12th man. Let the battle begin. Fresno State Bulldogs are running wild at Texas A&M next on FSN.
It's a hot, humid afternoon in College Station, Texas at Kyle Field. No difference to the Aggie fans. They love their football. Welcome to College Football Saturday and the Dr. Pepper Big 12 Game of the Week. Today, it's the Fresno State Bulldogs and the 23rd ranked Aggies of Texas A&M. Welcome, everyone. I'm Bill Land along with Gary Reasons. Glad to have you aboard as these two get ready to lock horns here today. You take a look at Stephen McGee for Texas A&M, their outstanding quarterback, a true leader in every sense of the word.
He's a fun, curious guy that they really love. What he did last year as a sophomore was pretty good numbers for him. This year he needs to back it up. He had a great first start, 66-yard touchdown run off the option. He just got to get the passing game going, Bill.
On the other side, Fresno State also want to know Pat Hill, no problem taking his ball club on the road in intimidating stadiums.
I think I love Pat Hill and the way he approaches scheduling anytime, any place, anywhere. He talked to us about what he thinks about his methodology for scheduling.
You know, we're going to play the games we have to play. We're going to play as tough an opponent as we can. If we're going to be on the road, we're going to play good teams. You know, we've played some very good teams. We've played at LSU, Oklahoma, Tennessee, USC. It doesn't really make any difference to us. We're going to play those games, and we're going to compete as hard as we can in those type of football games. And up until last year, we'd averaged 9 wins a year, so we've been doing a good job with it. We've got a young team. We've got a chance to build a great foundation, and Fresno State's going to make another run at it.
You can feel the confidence from Pat Hill. Now let's send it down to Emily Jones with more about Coach Hill and his philosophy.
Guys, he has definitely backed up that philosophy through that scheduling. This is the 30th game that Fresno State has played against BCS schools, and the 26th of which has come on the road. Coach Hill has developed a sort of ritual when he goes to imposing environments such as the one here at Kyle Field. He won't allow his team to walk on the opposing team's logo. Instead, he huddles them around and tells them if they're going to build tradition, they've got to beat teams that have already got it. It is Fresno State and Texas A&M coming up from a hot and steamy Kyle Field when we come back on FSN.
This broadcast is presented to you.
Moments away from the kickoff of our Dr. Pepper Big 12 Game of the Week. Welcome inside our college.
Welcome back, College Football Saturday, your Dr. Pepper Big 12 Game of the Week. Fresno State against the 23rd ranked team in the nation, the Aggies of Texas A&M, here at Kyle Field. And Fresno State at 1-0, Pat Hill, his 11th year, 77-52. And he says, I'm as proud of that note there, the 93 academic all-conference players, as I am of anything our team has accomplished on the football field. And they're trying to turn it back around after a subpar 4-8 campaign last year. They opened with a 24-3 win of Sacramento State last weekend. Now to Kyle Field to face the Aggies of Texas A&M, where Dennis Franchione is beginning his 5th season. They were victorious last week over 1AA Montana State 38-7. And Coach Fran coming off a 9-4 campaign where they beat Texas and then were deflated in their bowl game, losing to Cal. But they have high hopes for this season in the Big 12.
Yeah, both teams coming off a pretty good win, but they really didn't go against talent that they're going to see later this season. They want to see kind of what they've got. I think this is going to be a good measuring stick for both football teams.
Szymanski is set to kick it off for Texas A&M. He's booted him out of both end zones last week, so he has not had a problem with the kickoff from the 30-yard line. And Wiley and Bell are deep for Fresno. Fresno State taking it 1 yard deep at the 20 and out across the 25-yard line for the Fresno State Bulldogs as Devin Wiley on the return for Fresno State. And let's take a look at the Liberty Mutual starters for Fresno State offensively. And the quarterback, Tom Brandstater, who last week threw for 199 yards, a host of running backs. Miller is certainly an outstanding sophomore there. They've also got an offensive line that is led by Wendell. And their wideouts, not necessarily a game breaker, but they've got some consistent fellas who can go get the football. And it is 1st and 10 at the 27. And Miller nearly tripped up. And has brought down. Bryant is there leading the way, as well as Jordan Pugh. Let's take a look now at the Texas A&M defense provided by Liberty Mutual. Chris Harrington is a stud, an all-conference player on the first unit. Bryant, you saw making that last play. Maybe the oldest linebacking duo in the country in Dodge and Toupee, who are 26 and 25 respectively. And they've got a host of people in the secondary they feel confident about. 2nd and 10, basically no gain on that first play from scrimmage. Brandstater. Complete and a good pop from the get-go as Crawley is the receiver on the play. And Crawley hit by Dixon in the secondary.
Yeah, and expect Alton Dixon to be up near the line of scrimmage. He's a strong safety that they're going to have to get near the line of scrimmage to defend the running game here, but he's also a very capable tackler. He's a little leather there early in this ball game, trying to show that these Aggies ready to play here physically.
Hot, humid day here, 93 degrees, humidity at 50%. Possibility of some showers, but this sunshine has turned this place into a sauna. 3rd and 1 at the 36. Miller spinning. Flag is thrown. We'll see where they mark it, and we'll see. Believe that would be holding. We'll see, though.
Be close to where the first down line is. I think he may have gotten across it, but what's the penalty here?
Personal foul, face mask, defense, number 4, 15-yard penalty from the end of the run, automatic, first down.
Calling it on Danny Gore, the cornerback, coming in there late on the tackle, the face mask, and add some yardage to the end of that run. So Fresno State here across midfield now early in this ball game in the Texas A&M territory.
A big play on the first big 3rd down situation of the afternoon. And now it is Fresno State 1st and 10 at the 49 of the Aggies. The shotgun, Brandstater. He's flushed. And tucks it under on the Fresno State sideline. Brandstater, 6'5", 220, a junior out of Turlock, California. Last year, started 10 games, threw for nearly 1,500 yards, 13 scores, 14 INTs. You want to certainly change those numbers a little bit.
Well, he does a good thing here. He doesn't make a bad throw, cause a problem play. And I think for this football team to come in here and play well, I think they need to get up early, Bill. Take this crowd out of it. And I think they need to run the football to set up their play action passing game. And defensively, they've got to defend the option against Texas A&M because they will certainly run that to perfection today if they can.
2nd down and 9. Smith gets the carry, and Smith about the 38-yard line before he is brought down, a couple shy of the first down. Clifton Smith, a senior from Fresno, California, out of Edison High School. He had 7 carries for 49 yards and a score in the opening win over Sac State.
Now, they played 4 tailbacks last week against Sacramento State, and I expect we'll see a lot of those guys today. Keep them fresh, keep them in there. They've got a stable of running backs for Sacramento State. And, Bill, they want to be a power-running football team. Although they go 5 wides here, it's a thing that they hold their hat close to their head is that they want to be a power football team.
Ezra Tutu wide to the right on that threesome over there, and then Brandstater tosses it downfield and is complete. Oh, fumble. He couldn't hang on to it. Looked like he had the grab as Crawley, the intended receiver, thought it was going to be a sensational catch, Gary. Peterson and Dixon covering there.
This is well thrown here by Tom Brandstater over the top here. One hand here up by Crawley. Thought he pulled it in, but then you see the strip on the outside. Good job on the outside coming in there. Jordan Peterson, the cornerback, with a strip there with his left arm on the football. Good job coming in late and knocking that ball out for the Aggies.
So a punting situation on 4th and 3, and that'll bring on Kyle Zimmerman. Zimmerman punted a lot last year when Malone got hurt, and now Malone punted last week. Robert Malone, they weren't happy with his performance, and Zimmerman getting the shot today. He's a senior from Visalia, California. Let it go into the end zone. rush back out to the 20-yard line as Texas A&M will get the football for the first time this afternoon with 12-12 to go in this first period of play. And you see Stephen McGee, Vernon, Texas, leading our Liberty Mutual starters from Texas A&M. Jovorskie Lane is a touchdown machine with 29 in his career. Kerry Franks is an explosive wideout and kick return fella. They're two tight ends they're very proud of, Joey Thomas and Martellus Bennett. And they've got a veteran offensive line with a couple of returning Big 12 first-teamers in Elder and Wallace. Goodson actually will get the start here in place of Lane, but they flip-flop those guys. And they hand it off right up the middle. Alexander gets the carry. Chris is a senior from Columbia, Texas. 5'11", 248 pounds. Now let's take a look at Liberty Mutual's defense for Fresno State. Jason Roberts has been around a little bit, transfer. This junior now anchoring the defensive end slot. Riley is a linebacker that had 11 tackles last week. And Jenkins led them in interceptions last year with 3 picks. It is 2nd down and 6 after a gain of 4 on the opening down for Texas A&M. McGee out of the gun and fakes the lane and keeps himself. And you see some of the abilities of Stephen McGee.
Yeah, he's got plenty of opportunity there with his feet there. Just a zone option here, and he takes it around the edge. And Steve McGee, he's hard to handle here. When he gets it in here, you see the defensive end get logged, does a good job of getting outside in the first down. And for Texas A&M in this ball game, take a look at our keys here for their football team. I think they've got to win the field position advantage. They've got a great punter and kicker in this football game and developed a balanced attack. That includes passing the football. A&M has not had that. And they got to crowd the line of scrimmage on defense. They've got to be able to stop Fresno when they try to run the football and use that play-action passing game.
1st and 10 at the 32. Both ball clubs would admit they were pretty vanilla last week in their opening games. And this one complete to Martellus Bennett.
And that's something I think they really need to add more of a component into this Texas A&M offense is use your tight ends, use Martellus Bennett, who is a tremendous athlete. He's got a great frame, a great size, and Bennett's in the slot here on the right side and has a quick little out pattern. And you need to get him the football. He's a guy that can make a difference in your offense and help that quarterback develop some rhythm, consistency, and give him some different options. They've got a couple of tight ends, including Joey Thomas in this lineup, that are really pretty good players.
Bennett 3 receptions for 33 yards last week. He's a big target at 6'7", 255, and a junior. 2nd and 6, the ball on the 36, opening possession for A&M. Goodson turns it upfield, shows a little bit of his quick feet, and pulls his way to the 41-yard line. Ben Jacobs, redshirt freshman from Las Vegas, makes the tackle for the Bulldogs.
Well, whenever Mike Goodson gets the ball in his hands, they feel like he has the ability to take it and make the big play. Just going to be here, the little speed sweep here out of the shotgun and give him a chance to get around the edge. But good job by Fresno State of being able to corral him for about a 4 or 5 yard gain. But Mike Goodson, he's the speed back. He's the lightning guy of the thunder and lightning attack here with Jovorskie Lane. He's the guy that gives you that wiggle, that speed outside. They want to make big plays with him in the football game.
3rd down and 1 at the 41. And not much. We'll see where they spot the football here. Jacobs made the tackle. You saw some of the aggressiveness of that Fresno State defense, but it is a first down for Texas A&M.
Close one here, get it, bunch it up in there. Mike Goodson just fighting for it and gets over that line.
Send it down to Emily Jones.
Well, guys, you talk about getting the ball in Mike Goodson's hands. He wasn't not returning kicks yet. He may be today. He didn't want to return them before the season started, but after watching week 1 of the highlights across the country and seeing how much action can happen on those kick returns, he went to Coach Fran and said, I might be interested in returning some kicks.
And Franks catches this football, and it was Kerry Franks who lit him up last week, averaging 41 yards per return, and he said, you're taking my job. You don't want to do this from the get-go. I got that kick return down.
Well, you want to get the ball in Kerry Frank's hands. He's the fastest guy on the team. He's a 4.3 40 guy. He's a guy that can make explosive plays, and not only in the kick return game, but in the passing game. And I think that he's the kind of guy that Coach Fran needs to go to the vertical passing game, which really has been lacking here at Texas A&M, and perhaps stretch the field against these Bulldogs.
Taylor and Corey go wide right. The pitch to Goodson. Goodson looking for some speed on the corner. Out of bounds on the Fresno State sideline. Just about midfield. We've got 8:56 to go, first quarter here.
Well, watch the block on the outside here. That's Irvin Taylor, number 2 on the outside. If you're going to run this play, he's got to be able to block. And he does a pretty good job here allowing Goodson to get some yardage. You do that spread wide offense, you want to have your wide receivers block. Taylor, a veteran receiver, a senior out there, and he's one of the speed guys too, Bill, that they want to get the ball in his hands.
Texas A&M grinding it out. That is their style. Time of possession is important to the Aggies. They want to wear folks down. Last year, they averaged 33 minutes, 35 seconds time of possession. The best in the NCAA. Here is McGee. Turns it up. 35 and brought down at the 31-yard line. Stephen McGee last week rattled off a 65-yarder for a touchdown and led him in rushing with 121 yards. Shows you his capability.
Well, when you run this out of the option, watch the tight end here. He's going to get the block, Joey Thomas, and he's going to seal that right there inside. And Steve McGee just runs around the outside. No problem there. Marcus Riley was taken out of the play, the senior linebacker. That's what you want here. He doesn't have to pitch it out to Goodson. They take him away, and the quarterback reads it very well. McGee jumps up in the hole there. He had a 66-yard scamper for a touchdown last week, Bill, and he can take it the distance.
First and 10 at the 31 for Texas A&M now. Opening drive for the Aggies and an impressive one. McGee got hit as he threw it and overthrown, intended for Pierre Brown, the junior from Duncanville, Texas, just south of Dallas. A reception for 6 yards last week.
He shows his toughness there. He knew that blitz was going to come in there and hit him, and good job of staying there. Moses Harris, a strong safety, came off the outside, the weak side. He just stepped into his throw and completed it, but he took a shot, though, from Moses.
Fresno State last week allowed just 102 yards of offense. Now, yeah, it was Sacramento State, but just the same, that is mighty impressive. Here today, are they going to get worn down early in this hot, humid afternoon as A&M continues to march it? It's 2nd and 10 from the 31. McGee's pass is batted down. I believe Monga got a touch on it. John Monga, the junior nose tackle. And also Tyler Klutz was there, the defensive end, who's a second-team all-conference player, number 11.
Yeah, Tyler Klutz gets his hands up here. He's watching the quarterback. He knows he's not going to get there, so he gets his right hand up, does a good job of timing it. And instead of rushing to the quarterback, you see a 3 or a 5-step drop. Go ahead and shorten your rush there, and Tyler does a nice job of it. They're getting his hand up, making a play for the Bulldogs.
Klutz with 16 career sacks. He knows what he's doing when it comes to rushing that passer. 3rd and 10 for the Aggies. Good protection this time, and McGee finds his target as Bennett has the first down. They'll move the chains to the 19-yard line. Martellus Bennett, he says, like any tight end, I'm always open, and even if I'm covered, I'm open. And he's right, because he's so big here.
Well, he's got good protection up front. This is a veteran offensive line that they can give the time to the quarterback, and Martellus Bennett got him one catch on the opposite side, now back on this side. You need to work this tight end into the mix here. I think he's a capable player. He's probably one of the best in the country at the tight end spot.
Pickup of 12, 1st and 10 officially now at the 18-yard line. Texas A&M, one wide out to the top of your screen. And right up the middle, Lane still on his feet, he scores! Jovorskie Lane! He had nothing to do with A.J. Jefferson, said, get out of my way! That is vintage J-Train.
Well, it was a great block and a great hole up front. There's nobody there. You stop it right there. Who's the only guy in the picture? It's the umpire. And number 28, Jefferson, guess what? You're not going to get him down. Big J-Train at 275 pounds, maybe a couple biscuits more than that, piles into the end zone.
Yeah, did he have the buffet this morning is the only determining factor there. Wow, what a powerful run. 18 yards for the score. And Matt Szymanski hits the PAT, 6 of 6 on the season. And the Aggies lead it 7-0 after their opening drive. Dr. Pepper Big 12 Football Game of the Week on FSN is brought to you by Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Dr. Pepper, there's more to it. By Sonic, it's not just good, it's Sonic good. And the first down markers brought to you by Overstock.com. Your entire order ships for just $2.95 at Overstock.com. Live better with Overstock.com. It's all about the O.
And the O was clicking that time for the Aggies moving down the field on their first drive. Good job by Steve McGee running the offense and finishing off with J-Train for the touchdown.
You see Wiley deep to return as Lane catches his breath in front of the fan on the Aggie sidelines. And they tell Wiley, no. His teammate back there, Bell's going, where are you going? Let's set it now for a Dr. Pepper game break to Michael Eaves.
All right, Bill, thanks a lot. Opening drive for Oregon at Michigan. You can already hear the rumblings in Ann Arbor. Jonathan Stewart over the left side. Check out the leap over the defenders. He's short of the goal line. They would kick a field goal for a 3-0 lead. Michigan, though, trying to respond. They are inside the 20, but they haven't lost 4 straight games since 1967. They're down early at home. Bill, back to you guys.
Thank you, Michael. No pressure in Ann Arbor? No. And Oregon, Fresno State has the Ducks next. So Pat Hill said, I'm pulling for Oregon this week to beat Michigan. We need to take care of business here. Well, they need to move the football. And they do on this first down carry here. After Texas A&M had Lane put up an 18-yard TD run, Wanye Miller with a carry here to the 28-yard line, picks up 8.
Yeah, and that's what Fresno State's going to come back and do here, just get back into power running attack here. And Miller looks like he's going to hobble off the field. That's going to be a loss for them. He was their returning top rusher from a year ago.
Last year, 287 yards, a couple of scores, had a couple of receptions as well. But they are deep at running back, and they feel that with Smith and Anthony Harding, who's also very capable. They'll be tested here, obviously, today on 2nd and 1 now, giving him 9 yards on that carry. Smith saying hello to the A&M defense, and Misi Toupé, one of the veteran, I do mean veteran linebackers at age 25, makes the stop. He is 5'10", a senior out of St. George, Utah.
As a former linebacker, I love it when a middle linebacker steps up and makes a good clean tackle in the hole, gets his leverage underneath him, gets his legs down, his weight down, and delivers through and brings him up short. Now, I actually lost a couple yards on that with that tackle.
Yeah, it's a good thing we don't have the camera on in the booth, because anytime a linebacker makes that play, just a little slobber runs down the right side of Gary's chin. And I move about 2 steps to my left. 3rd and 3. Langs will hold this one up as Brandstater unable to get anything done.
Offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains 3rd down.
Well, that certainly doesn't help matters now. It's going to be 3rd and 9 yards to go here. I guess 8 or 9 yards for Pat Hill's bunch. And now you got the 12th man getting into this football game. They feel they make an impact here. There's no doubt about that. The fans and what they do in the stands really affects what happens on that football field.
It is a unique setting. There are a lot of great settings. This one is very different. And the fans, they participate. It is 3rd and 8 now. Brandstater. And running from pressure. Picked off. Is he out of bounds?
Well, I think it was a catch.
INT, it is good. And picked off by Texas A&M. Devin Gregg, the junior from Spring, Texas, out of Westfield High School. And he makes the INT. And now A&M, excellent field position.
Brandstater trying to thread this in there. It's overthrown a little bit. Receiver can't get it, but Gregg behind him. What a catch. Left foot is in. Good job. Good call by the officials. Excellent turnover there now for Texas A&M. They're going to get the football back. These are things that you don't want to do if you're Fresno State, coming in here, making early mistakes, turning over the football, and especially with positive territory here for Texas A&M.
Now, Fresno State and A&M are known as teams that are great in turnover margin, but last year Fresno State was a -5 overall. They had 3 turnovers last week. Pitch out from McGee to Lane. Lane still on his feet, to no one's surprise, as he picks up an extra yard or 2 and gets inside the 35 down near the 33-yard line. And Claudia Brown made the tackle, a sophomore in Lake Elsinore, California, for Fresno State.
Well, Irvin Taylor, number 2 for Texas A&M, he's saying, Jovorskie, why are you running over me? He's out there blocking in front, trying to make a block for him, and Jovorskie kind of runs right up his back. Doesn't get a whole lot there on that play, but Jovorskie's trying to run north and south.
He had 19 TDs in the nation, and he's got 1 today, 2 on the season. Goodson. He spins and gets an extra yard or 2. It looks like he has the first down to the 30-yard line. So Klutz making the tackle for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, Mike Goodson, kind of a Houston area product from Klein, Texas. Played at Klein Collins High School. Young man doing a great job as a sophomore. He's got great speed, Bill. They like to get the ball in his hands, and he has breakaway capability. And just when he gets a hole, he can scoot through there very, very quickly.
Aggies' first drive, 12 plays, 80 yards. Lane an 18-yard TD run. Then they get the pick. And now their second drive, 1st and 10 at the 30 for the moment. And flags thrown on that snap.
Before the ball is snapped, ball start. Offense. 70. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
Aggies had 4 penalties for 25 yards in their opening win over Montana State. Dennis Franchione, his 5th year here at Texas A&M. Talking to him yesterday and agreed with observation, kind of a quiet confidence with the Aggies after their 9-4 campaign last year. He's got his program installed. He's got guys that can make plays at all positions on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, they've got a lot of seniors that are 5th-year seniors that he brought in here when he first got here.
Goodson can't run away from the defensive pressure of Fresno State, and a loss of a couple on the play. Nice job of containment by the Bulldogs. Brown was there again.
And so when you take a look at Dennis Franchione and what he's done here, you take a look at the players that he's brought in and how they're progressing and how they're building this program. And look at that offensive line. You got Kirk Elder, Cody Wallace, Chris Yoder, Corey Clark, all seniors there, all 5th-year seniors playing in that front, and had a lot of collective starts together. And that's just part of the building process, and they've done it the right way. A lot of redshirting going on here at Texas A&M. 69% of the roster has been redshirted today, so that means he's not playing a lot of freshmen and redshirt freshmen early in their careers. He's allowing them to develop.
And that might be, as we watch today's game unfold, be the
Offside.
difference
Defense.
between
Contact
these two
in the
teams.
neutral
Because
zone.
Fresno
5-yard
State
penalty.
talented,
Remains second down.
but very young, and you've got Texas A&M saying, hey, we shouldn't be making the early season mistakes.
Conversely, Fresno State last week, Bill, in that football game, 10 true freshmen played in that football game and 7 more redshirt freshmen. So a total of 17 freshmen played for the Bulldogs in their opening ball game.
Pat Hill needs him to grow up quick here. It is 2nd down and 8 at the 28, and the Bulldogs trail 7-0. McGee to Bennett, and Bennett is tackled forward progress near the 25-yard line, picked up a few. And, well, it's obvious that Bennett's a target here in this first quarter.
Well, I like what Steve McGee is doing. He's surveying the field. He knows he's got his tight end coming across the field here as an outlet route, and just going to bring him around the body. But take a look at Bennett coming down here, and good job of getting the ball out to him. Good tackle there, though, in the secondary by Fresno State. But McGee, again, gets a hit. It's a blindside blitz, and the quarterback has to account for him, and Steven knows he's got to get rid of that football.
Making that hit was Moses Harris, strong safety for the Bulldogs. Aggies call a timeout to talk it over here. We'll take a brief break as well. 3:13 to go, first quarter. Kyle Field, Texas A&M leads Fresno State 7-0.
Welcome back to Kyle Field. It is Texas A&M on top of Fresno State by a score of 7-0 in the first quarter. I heard you guys say that it was something like 95 with 50% humidity down here. I beg to differ. It's got to be way hotter than that. Thank goodness I've got some guys with some 12th man towels. They've been icing them down for me with some ice cold water, and I, can use it. Cool myself off a little bit. I'll bring you guys up some at halftime.
She's always cool.
She's cool, but those players aren't. And I tell you, the Aggie band out there, they've been there since 12:30 in that direct sun. Those guys have to be a little warm right now.
On a 3rd and 5, Stephen McGee, the ball carrier, and he is stopped near the 21-yard line, just shy of the first down. So, first big decision, if you will, for Dennis Franchione here.
See him wiping off there, the guys in the band. They've been there a long time, Bill.
Yeah.
They've been out there in this heat, and the sun is directly on that side of the stadium, and they're having to deal with it. But it does not dampen their enthusiasm here for this football team, and they know how to get into this ball game.
Jovorskie Lane comes into the lineup. Shock on a 4th and 1 at the 21. Taylor, the man in motion. Timeout, Fresno State. Oh, delay a game. Okay, beg your pardon. I saw Pat Hill start to come out on the field, and I don't know if he was motioning to the official about, hey, throw the flag.
Now he's still mad, trying to talk to one of the line judges back there, and I don't know exactly what he's talking about, but Texas A&M trying to draw the Bulldogs offside and looking now to go for a field goal.
So that'll bring on Matt Zemansky. Hit from 34 yards out in his only field goal attempt last week. This one from 43, and no good. 7-0 with a timeout on the field. Aggies lead it. We'll be right back. Texas A&M trying to keep it cool for those youngsters here.
Having fun, but that was a good defensive stand by Fresno State there to stop the Aggies, not allowing them to put points on the board. And now they're trying to turn things around and get some field position here.
So Fresno State wins a little battle there for the missed field goal, and they survived the turnover. That drive, it started after an INT. Harrington and Smith make the tackle here. First down markers brought to you by Overstock.com. Your entire order ships for just $2.95 at Overstock.com. Live better with Overstock.com. It's all about the O.
Order me up a box fan, Bill. Let's get one here, see if we can get it delivered pretty quick.
And I'll pay more than $2.95. Second and 10 at the 26-yard line. Time, finds a receiver, and complete, and still on his feet. And it'll be a first down for Fresno State. And let's send it now back to Los Angeles. Michael Eaves for Dr. Pepper Game Break.
All right, Bill, back and forth they go in Ann Arbor. A Chan Henney touchdown pass put Michigan up over Oregon, but back come the Ducks. Dennis Dixon looking deep for Brian Haysinger, pulled in, and he's gone. 85 yards on the score, and a little trickery on the point after. Yeah, they went for two. 11-7 Ducks lead it in Ann Arbor. Bill, back to you.
Thank you very much, Michael. Right here, let's check. Yeah, there's going to be a review on that last play. As you take a look here, was the receiver down? Was his knee down?
I believe his knee is down there on the ground. He gets back up there. So he caught the football, and he's going to get the yardage there before he started to run. He got the first down after the run there, but he's going to go back 5 or 6 yards. I think it's going to be about a 5-yard completion to the tight end. He catches the football. His knee is squarely on the ground, and very easy to see that. I think this is going to go back for Texas A&M.
Bear Pasco, the receiver, a 6'5", 260-pound junior from Porterville, California. And he had 3 catches for 91 yards and a TD in the win over Sacramento State.
Yeah, we've got good tight ends in this football game. We talked about Martello, Bennett, and Joey Thomas, but this guy right here, Bear Pasco, he may be the best tight end in the WAC conference. He's that good. So a lot of good athletes here at the tight end position and on this football game.
Just joined us, Texas A&M stopped Fresno State on the opening series and went 80 yards on 12 plays. Jovorskie Lane for A&M's first drive, the TD maker with an 18-yard scamper. And then Fresno State's second possession ended with an interception. Devin Gregg picking off Brandstater. But Texas A&M, although taking over in Fresno State territory, unable to get anything on the board, missing on a 43-yard field goal attempt by Szymanski. And now it's back to the Bulldog football. Yeah,
I was a little surprised that Dennis Franchione decided not to go for it there on 4th and short. Actually took the penalty, took it back 5 yards. So knows his kicker's got plenty of leg there in an attempt at field goal. We're going to hear the official here on the review.
After review, the play reversed. The runner's knee was down. The ball will be placed at the 30.5-yard line. Clock operator, please reset the game clock to 1:29. It will be second down.
All right, there's the beauty of replay.
Yeah, they got that one right, no doubt about that. And it was initiated by Coach Fran, I believe, on the sidelines over here. He threw out his challenge flag there to get that going.
And Pat Hill looking on now as it'll be 2nd and 5 they have down here. Wait a minute. Let me check on that. Yeah, it's 3rd down.
Well, these fans all knew it.
Yeah, everybody but the guys in striped shirts knew at that time.
And now the fans are going to get back into it here. They're going to really rev it up here.
Hey, the heat could take its effect. First down marker brought to you by Overstock.com. Save up to 70% on brand name products. Live better with Overstock.com. It's all about the up. It'll be 3rd and 5 at the 31. And the handoff and going nowhere. That Aggie defense is charged up here. Chance to catch its breath. Ryan Matthews, who led them in rushing last week with 11 carries and 77 yards. He is a freshman from Bakersfield, California, out of West High School.
Credit the inside guys there. Kellen Hurd, Joseph Red Bryant in there, and Chris Harrington. That defensive front for the Aggies doing a good job of not being fooled by the delay there, trying to run the draw inside. Now Fresno State's bringing the punting team out, and This is, I think, going to be critical in this football game for both teams. Which team is going to win the field position battle in the kicking game?
Loss of 3 on the play. That brings on the punter, Zimmerman. Deep man is Peterson. Punt is away. Peterson. 35, 40. Wow, he made about 5 guys missing and takes it to the 46-yard line. Nicely done that time by Jordan Peterson, the sophomore from Lexington, Texas. Flag on the play. We'll let him sort it out. It's back on the 27-yard line of Fresno
Illegal
State.
formation, offense. 6 men on the line of scrimmage.
I think it'd be doubtful if Texas A&M would
The
want
penalty
to
is
enforce this
declined.
penalty. So
First down.
and they declined the penalty. It's going to get great field position to start now with the return to the 46-yard line.
Now this gives A&M now its 3rd possession. And at the 46-yard line of the Ags in the final seconds of the first quarter here at Kyle Field. That was a 39-yard punt and a 14-yard return by Peterson.
Now Fresno State's defense back out there, and their defensive coordinator positions had a change, Bill. They've had to go with an assistant on the field. Coach Stewart is now acting as the on-field defensive coordinator in the football game, and Dan Brown, unique story about him. He's here in the ball game, but he's had some tough go. But he had brain surgery for a tumor, and they've taken the majority of it out, and he's recovering and still doing more treatment on it. So good to have him here in this ball game, but he's in the booth upstairs.
Yeah, still working part-time and making the road trip too. Talk about tough and courageous. The carry, and that will end this first quarter, it appears. As the clock winds down, Jacobs makes the tackle, and Texas A&M start the second quarter with a 7-0 lead thanks to Jovorskie Lane's 18-yard run on the Aggies' first drive of the afternoon. We'll be back after we have this word from Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottlers. Texas A&M leads it 7-0 after the first quarter. Aggies lead the Bulldogs of Fresno State 7-0. We get ready for the second quarter at Kyle Field in College Station. Our college football Saturday tripleheader continues after our game when 19th ranked TCU meets 7th rated Texas in a showdown with BC implications for both teams. Coverage begins after our game right here on FSN. TCU, of course, where Dennis Franchione was at one time and helped build that university up. Gary Patterson's done a terrific job. They've won their last 5 games against Big 12 competition, including winning in Oklahoma during that streak. So that is a dandy battle you're going to see later here on FSN. For Texas A&M, the carry here on second down, and a player down for the Aggies as well. Jovorskie Lane carrying the football. And Alexander, you see, slow to get up.
Third down and 5 coming up for the
Alexander,
Aggies.
the fullback out there in front of the action. He's walking off to the sideline. Looks like he's hopefully going to be okay for them. A good field position here for Texas A&M to work. Now they need to convert on third downs here.
Yeah, 3rd and 5 for Texas A&M. McGee from the shotgun. Lane blocking up front. McGee got mashed, and the ball falls incomplete. There's a flag thrown in McGee's face. A couple of players. McKenna Ike was there, a
Personal
junior.
foul. Blow to the head. Defense, number 32. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
That is Kadir Brown, the sophomore. Gets tagged with that.
Q Brown had a suspension last week, not playing in the ball game, but his left arm is going up trying to knock the ball away, and actually continues and swings forward and left on and hits the side of the head of Stephen McGee here. Watch his left arm go right to his right temple there. Good call by the official. They try to protect those quarterbacks. They're definitely back there trying to throw that football. And
as a former defender, sometimes you think they're protected too much, but you certainly rather they err in the caution area instead of letting it go too far. McGee this time Tries to scramble. Good containment by Fresno State once again on a 1st and 10.
Yeah, when you play the option team, Bill, defensively, you have to take care of business and you have to take care of your responsibilities, and it's responsibility football. The fake inside here, watch at the top. If you block there, get off the block, come up and make the play. Good job by Fresno State. In particular, Moses Harris, number 3, coming in.
Pat Hill spent a number of years in the NFL as an assistant, so that's the difference in college football and pro football. He goes, here you have to prepare for a different type of offense every week, whereas in the NFL, everybody's pretty much running the same stuff, but you can scheme differently according to the talent you're going against. And he said, you know, we get 3 days of good practice to get ready for an option type team.
Yeah, it's really difficult because you don't play against those guys a lot. You don't play option football, and so the assignments that you have to be assignment sound, key sound, and one guy does something out of that mix, can be a huge play for the offense.
2nd and 10, McGee. Complete, but with a knee down on the reception. Not much doing offensively for Michael Corey, the senior from Delta, Utah. 6'4", 205.
And you see the kind of arm strength that Stephen McGee shows there. Quick little pass outside. This ball is in the air about 20-25 yards, and it's pretty much on a rope. Good job of moving his feet and stepping into it, and a good throw there. Gets it down low for Corey to catch that football.
5 yards in the pickup.
Yeah, I'm thinking Stephen McGee and Texas A&M talking about expanding their offense, getting more people in the mix. They need to do some things more vertical, though. They need to challenge defenses down the field. They really have not been able to accomplish that.
3rd and 5 in the 24. Right across the middle. No flag thrown there, and the Aggie fans not happy about that. Intended for Joey Thomas, the tight end. Harris was covering on the play.
Moses Harris is around the football. Looks like he's part of the game plan for Texas A&M. Wherever the football is, Moses Harris, number 3 for the Bulldogs, is there. And this time, good coverage there. And the fans, they're seeing the replay on the Jumbotron here in the stadium, and they're not liking the result. Good tight coverage and no penalty.
So Szymanski, who missed a 43-yarder, comes on for a 41-yarder. And move the football to the other hash mark. So Matt Szymanski hit from 34 last week, missed from 43 earlier today, and now from 41 yards out, trying to make it a 10-0 game.
Yeah, well, our kickers have a favorite hash mark. I wonder if the right side is better for him.
Doesn't matter. Got it smashed, and Fresno State has dodged another bullet. So credit the Bulldog defense for stiffening at the right time here.
2 blocked field goals this season so far for Fresno State. A big one here.
Take a brief break and be right back on FSN. Welcome back, 7-0 Texas A&M, but Fresno State trying to get a little momentum here after blocking the field goal attempt. And Szymanski 0-2 now today, and Fresno State, take a look at that.
We think it's Bear Pasco, number 85, the big tight end, got his hand on it. Bring him in there to get up and right in the spot where the kicker's going to deliver that across the line. Does a nice job of knocking it down, and Fresno State gets the football back.
Andrew Jackson, 69, also might have had something to do with that. Now the Bulldogs on offense, and Clifton Smith, the first down carry, finds enough room to get out to the 30. Offensive coordinator Jim McElwain said he's got the wiggle and giggle about him. He's always running back something a little bit different. And Smith showing you that trait right there. You see that note about Pat Hill and blocks, so that's not an accident.
No, they practice on that, and they make it part of their special teams goals. They want to have block kicks. Those are big changing momentum plays in a football game.
2nd and 4, the ball at the 30. Flag thrown behind the runner. If the play stands, he's got first down territory just across the 35-yard line. It was Smith once again.
And we'll see what Clifton Smith brings to the table, the quickness, elusiveness, and a little spin move
Holding
there.
offense, number 62. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. We play 2nd down.
He was a freshman All-American in 05, and go at either right guard or left. Let's call it the infraction here. 11:50 to go, first half. Aggies 7-0. Aggies have the yardage, 110 to 31. Pat Hill is saying everybody gets yards. We're here for victory. And you block a kick, you dodge a bullet with a missed field goal attempt, and those numbers can be misleading.
They've only got 18 yards rushing on the ground today, Fresno State. They want to run the football, not getting it done here early in this ball game.
Pass complete on the Aggie sideline near the first down as Moore, the receiver. Marlon Moore had 7 grabs last week for 70 yards. Another flag thrown back near where the quarterback, Brandstater, was.
Personal foul, roughing the passer. Defense 11. 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
So that one's tagged on Michael Bennett, the brother of Martellus, the defensive end. Very costly.
Brandstater gets out of the pocket, or he throws it, and then the push down. You see Bennett coming in there late, and good throw and catch there, and that's going to be a tag down to the end.
You know, a couple things here, Gary, that kind of strike me. One is you give that Fresno State defense a little bit more breathing time. It is a hot, humid afternoon, and now their offense sits out in their midfield. They can be a little bit more diversified.
They certainly can. They can open things up. They can get the running game going if possible. They're going to try it here, try to get the delay going. And
stumbling is Harding, but he picks up some yards and across to the 47.
When we talked to Coach McElwain, the offensive coordinator, he said we want some balance. We want to be able to do things, run the football. We want to do our play-action passing game. We've got a quarterback that can stand in there, and Brandstater is a capable quarterback to read the defense and do things for us. Our offensive line has to block, open holes in the running game, and everything else they feel like is going to come together.
4 yards in the pickup, but a player down for the Bulldogs as Harding was the ball carrier, the sophomore out of Turlock, California. Averaged 6.8 a carry last week.
Yeah, for a number of years, the Bulldogs have had a 1,000-yard rusher. Actually, for 6 straight seasons, Pat Hill and his bunch have had a 1,000-yard rusher. I like to get that running game going for sure.
Yeah, they ran for 266 yards last week. McDowell is the player down. We'll try to update you on him when we come back with the Aggies leading at 7-0. The Dr. Pepper Big 12 football game of the week on FSN is brought to you by Chick-fil-A. We didn't invent the chicken, just the chicken sandwich. By Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Dr. Pepper, there's more to it. And by Sonic, it's not just good, it's Sonic good. Want to get on TV? Get your t-shirt set like that.
Well,
Thank you, Eggs. Yes.
They got something on the other side, too.
Intelligent fan base here. 2nd down and 6. Ball on the 47. Intercepted. And a flag is thrown.
Yeah, that's thrown by the back judge. And that normally means he's going to have defensive holding in the secondary. So this interception is probably going to go against the Texas A&M Aggies. They're not going to get the football.
Holding. Defense. Number 25. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic. First down.
Keith Brown was the interceptor who had that one taken away. Pugh called for the penalties, you see. And Fresno State, okay, they pick up 1st and 10 now at the 37-yard line.
And those are things that'll kill you as a defense too, or any kind of a football team. Penalties, they start adding up. You take away and give it back to them because of a penalty. That's got to hurt.
And Brandstater handing it off. Ball carried to the 35, picks up a yard or 2 as Harding again the ball carrier for Fresno State. First down markers brought to you by Overstock.com. With the convenience of shopping at home, you can save up to 70% on amazing deals from Overstock.com. It's all about the up. Fresno State scattering with their what is that, 5 receivers set wide right, 3 linemen, and Brandstater tosses it out there. Smith, the receiver. Texas A&M able to stay with the play. Knocked out of bounds near the 31-yard line. Marquise Carpenter making the stop.
A little razzle-dazzle here by Pat Hill and his bunch. They kind of break off the offensive line. They try to break it outside. And we'll try to look here. Chris Harrington, what is he going to do? He's got 3 guys in front of him to deal with, and he's got to take that. And he actually came out to his defensive end spot, and he went out wide with that formation. So the defense reacting pretty well, only a short gain on the play.
Yeah, nice job by the all-conference player Chris Harrington, senior out of Houston St. Pius High School. It is 3rd down and 4 now for Fresno State. Still scoreless in a 7-0 Aggie lead. Brandstater staying in the pocket, dodges one. Finds a man incomplete. Trying to hit Crawley. coming in was Carpenter to deflect it.
No, great job by Carp coming in there at the end and making that play and knocking it away. Marquise Carpenter, one of the better cornerbacks that they have here for Texas A&M, and they're going to put them all out there. Good job by Brandstatter, though, buying some extra time and moving outside, trying to throw the ball. You see he's not really fleet of foot there. Great job of Carpenter coming across, and the receiver looked like he had a chance to pull that one in, Crawley, but good job knocking it away.
Here's a senior coming on now for the field goal attempt, Clint Stitzer, 6'1", 200. And 1 of 2 with a 47-yarder last week in the field goal category. That was his longest of his career. This is another graduate of Fresno State. And this one from about 47, and it is no good. So, two teams are 0 of 3 in field goal attempts.
This will be an immediate timeout.
After this word from Dr. Pepper, your local Dr. Pepper bottlers. Thank you, Michael. We look forward to that. And always Marco's comments at halftime. Big 12, third Big 12 team to play here this afternoon. Here's Jovorskie Lane on a 1st and 10 for 31. Oklahoma winning earlier today over Miami, and Nebraska winning at Wake Forest. Fresno State putting up a stiff challenge to Texas A&M. Neither team playing the kind of execution that they expected coming in here, Gary.
Yeah, and overall, this is a big weekend for the Big 12, I think, as far as playing non-conference opponents. A lot of non-conference ball games, and it's interesting to see how they'll measure up. Hasn't been good of late for the Big 12 conference, playing ranked opponents outside of the conference.
Yeah, still to come, TCU, Texas. You'll see that on FSN at 6 tonight from Austin. And, of course, Missouri playing Mississippi. A lot of great games, not just within the Big 12, but also around the country today. All right, we'll take a brief timeout here with it 9:15 on the scoreboard clock. First half, 7-0 Texas A&M on top. Yeah, it is hot here in College Station at Kyle Field. Texas A&M, the 23rd ranked team in the country with the lead. Bill and Gary Reasons with you up top. Emily Jones enjoying the balmy afternoon down on the floor at Kyle Field. And the Aggies have the football. 2nd and 1, the ball on the 40. Lane pitches it back to McGee. He's under pressure, though, as Fresno State had sniffed that out and stayed with him.
And good coverage all around by Fresno State on that. They did not take the play fake here, and they stayed with the receiver. You see the receiver out here. It's going to be one-on-one right there, but he doesn't take that play fake. He stays, and Jovorskie Lane pitches it back. Good job by Steve McGee getting rid of the football and not taking a negative play.
McGee's 5 of 9 for 31 yards. Brandstatter is 4 of 7 for 31 yards. Neither team's thrown a deep ball. We've seen a few crossing routes, but nothing vertical here today. It's 3rd and 1 at the 40 here. Brown goes in motion. And Jovorskie Lane, 45. And he picks up the first down, something that he has become very proficient. Coming in here today, he produced either a first down or a touchdown 26 times on 29 carries on 3rd or 4th down last year.
That's pretty good odds. That's pretty good numbers there. You're going to get a good opportunity to get that when you get this big guy running. You know what? He moves pretty well. I mean, we joke about him being a big guy, but he really runs very well. He's got good balance. He's got good vision. He knows what to do with the football. He's got good hands. You see how he handles the football, changing it from one hand to the other and trying to avoid contact on the football. The junior from Lufkin's having a good go here today.
Yeah, 7 receptions a year ago for 82 yards, so dual threat. McGee completes this one on the 1st and 10, and picks up a couple, and let's send it down to Emily Jones.
Guys, Jovorskie Lane is listed at 6 foot, 268 pounds, and as hard as it might be to believe, he was actually born premature. At birth, he weighed just 4 pounds. I guess you could see the 20-plus years did some good for him as far as his size is concerned, guys.
He grew up in a hurry.
Yeah. He took it serious when Mama said, grow up. 2nd down and 7. Chavis, the receiver on that last play. McGee, the flip here. And Goodson sheds off one would-be tackler and picks up a couple of yards. It'll be a 3rd and short coming up.
Good job by Fresno State of stringing out the option here for Texas A&M and not allowing Goodson to get around the edge with his speed. Bring up another 3rd down here, critical one, 3rd and 3 or so for Texas A&M.
7:22 and counting on the clock here in the first half. Texas A&M scored on its first possession, and that's been it. Lane, an 18-yard run. Both teams have made a few mistakes here that have cost them. And it's now 3rd and 4 officially. McGee, and complete for the first down to the 35-yard line of Fresno State. Martellus Bennett. And there is proof that even when he's not open, he's open.
Well, just throw it to the big guy. I tell you, he's one-on-one there. It's press coverage on the outside with Fresno State walking everybody up to the line of scrimmage. And Steve McGee reads to the right side. He says, hey, the big guy's going to get open here on a smaller defensive back. And Moses Harris covering him inside. He's 6'1", but Martellus Bennett at 6'7", just takes it to the outside. Good throw by McGee for the first down. 4th
reception for 33 yards. McGee is now 7 of 11 for 46. And it's 1st and 10 at the 35. Lane. Found a little lane there. Motors to the 28-yard line. Jovorskie Lane, junior from Lufkin, Texas. And A&M trying to wear down Fresno State here in the final minutes of the first half.
Talking about the offensive line, they're doing a good job opening holes here for Jovorskie Lane inside. He's had the ball, looks like nobody touches him for 4 or 5 yards. That's good movement by the offensive line, taking that defensive front out of the way there for their running backs to get going. Good job up front.
3 backs set up now behind the quarterback McGee, and a motion man spreads out, and Texas A&M pursued again by Fresno State. Tell you what, it's been nothing easier. Coach Fran made the comment that you're certainly not going to have anything given to you by Fresno State, and they have lived up to that.
And we have number 12 on the field, the old 12th man. I'm surprised that the fans aren't really all over that. He's out there in the huddle, trying to get a little block there, helping on the outside. Who's number 12 today, Bill?
And the 12th man today is Lamantia, Nick Lamantia, junior.
And he's out there in the huddle in the backfield right now.
He's had the designated 12th man here at Texas A&M. Corey, the man in motion.
He's getting the ball.
And complete.
Number 12, Nick Lamantia.
And Lamantia.
See that 12th man? I mean, that's important to these people here. When he gets into a football game.
It's actually by number 19, Marvin Haynes.
Well, now you might hear the fans. They're going, all right, it's 4th and 1. We're going for it, or we're going to try and kick it. And Zemanski had one blocked and missed another. And it's about the same range again as he sets this one up from 43 yards.
You got Jovorskie Lane. I think you need to go for this 4th down and 1 here short. You're getting your good field position. I'd take it all the way down, but they're electing to try the field goal.
Zemanski got that big leg, and this one is good. So that'll quiet the masses for a moment as they pick up 3, and it's 10-0 now Texas A&M as Zemanski gets his first field goal of the day, his 2nd of the year.
Anytime you can put points on the board, that's a good thing for your offense and your football team. And happy to have the points now. 10 points, 10-0 here in the second quarter for Dennis Franchione and his football team. You know, this is going to be one of those games that's going to be won at the line of scrimmage. And you know, sometimes you have to make a statement. I'm kind of one of those guys that thinks, hey, you're here at home. You've got 4th and short, positive yard, positive field position. I want to make that statement. Dennis Franchione elects to go for another field goal attempt and got it through the posts.
Let's go down to Emily Jones Moore, the 12th man.
Well, guys, you were talking about that 12th man, and it is a huge honor here at Texas A&M. Nick Lamantia is the 122nd player to serve as the 12th man. And the way it works is during game week on Thursday, Coach Fran will announce who the 12th man is, and that walk-on is usually it's always a walk-on, I should say, but he has the opportunity to play on the kickoff coverage team. Nick has had the opportunity to do so twice already this season. It's not a given that he'll get into the game in any other capacity, but clearly Nick doing so today.
And on kickoff as well right here.
And Wiley is the receiver across the 20. Scoots down the sideline before he is stopped at the 37-yard line.
Nick Lamantia also gets out there on the kickoff coverage. He's right here in the middle of the field. Let's take a look at his journey down the field. And his job in the middle is just kind of go through anything there, stay in his lane. He got to be physical. He got a blocker. He's got to shed and get out of the way. And good block, good hold up there. Doesn't get off that. Not like Coach Sherrill talks about fly paper. Can't get off the block. But he's playing a little offense, playing special teams. Special day here for Lamantia.
27 yards on the return. Decent field position now for the Bulldogs. 1st and 10 from 37. They need to get something going themselves before the half here. See if they can't get some points on the board. And there's a fumble. It is still loose, and Texas A&M, I believe, is recovered. Fresno State made the mistake after the fumble of trying to pick it up instead of just get on it, and Jordan Peterson ends up with it for the Aggies.
Just as you said, Bill, trying to do something more. The ball is hit right here, and it comes out right there at the point of contact. Bingo, the ball, I didn't see who it was making that contact, but you see there Fresno State players trying to pick up the ball, and not a smart thing to do. Jordan Peterson getting right on top of it for the recovery. See the inside out there. Still could not see the player.
Might have been Harrington.
Might have been Harrington from the defensive end spot. The right defensive end coming vertical on the ball, right on the numbers from Clifton Smith.
So the Aggies get the turnover. You know, Dennis Franchone's thinking now, all right, let's go ahead and pick something up here, take it in for 7, and we're, all things considered, pretty good shape at the half.
Yeah, you like to convert on turnover situations, no doubt about it. You get great field position here with the football. Going to start at the plus 37-yard line with your offense out there. So they want to control the football and take it down and put points up there for sure.
I'll remind you folks, college football Saturday, triple header again here on FSN. Up next, 19th-rated TCU, 7th-ranked Texas in Austin. And we look forward to that one coming your direction. In Colorado and Arizona State, full day of college football right here on FSN. As the Buffs, after beating Colorado State last week in Tempe, and of course in Austin, the battle of the top 25s, an old Southwest Conference rivalry renewed tonight. Joe Myers, Dave Lapham, Jim Knox loosened up for that one over there. Here's McGee, a stroll to the 20. Made it look easy. Stephen McGee following his Huckers, and a first down at the 19-yard line of Fresno State.
Well, what Texas A&M does is they outman the Bulldogs on this play with the option to the left side. You see the motion going across there. They take the tailback, but nobody takes the quarterback, and he gets around the edge. Steve McGee, as you said, Bill, kind of on a stroll there on that run.
Pierre Brown, nice block. Take a look, number 6 coming your screen there. Help open it up for a few more yards. And it's now 1st and 10, Texas A&M.
Steve McGee, when he gets downfield, he's not a slider. He doesn't like to slide.
No. All on the 19. And Aggies keeping it on the ground here with 3:40 and counting in this first half remaining on a 10-0 lead. Again.
Steve McGee, he's a guy that likes to run down the field and make plays, and he's not going to shy away from contact. He doesn't shy away from linebackers or defensive backs, and he looks like he feels like that he can pretty much handle those guys, and we talked to him about his physical style of play.
It's really the only way I know how to play the game, the only way I've ever done it, and so it's hard to take out the natural just passion and desire and the way you play the game out of the way you do it. And so, I mean, he can tell me to slide, and I can be making a conscious effort to slide, but whenever that guy's sitting there looking you know, eye to eye, and there's not much slide in me. That's just something I really can't do very good.
He admits it. Not much slide in him, and he had some contact on that last play. But that's what Steve McGee brings to his football team. He's fun. He's gregarious. In practice, he is the most lively kind of player out there. He plays tricks on everybody. A lot of fun, and he brings that kind of attitude to the huddle and when he plays every snap.
Well, and Les Caney was telling us, the offensive coordinator, he goes, what do you think it's like when a guy has that attitude and takes a hit and walks in that huddle? He goes, his respect is unquestioned, and those people will go to bat for him.
You bet.
3rd and 3 at the 12. McGee to throw here. Goodson got away from 1, stretches to the 5, he'll score! Touchdown Aggies! Goodson.
Nice execution that time on the outside by Goodson. Breaking tackles, and that's the key here. Quarterback's got him in the flat. He's looking downfield. He knows he's going to have to dump it downside. He's got pressure. Watch him break tackles. Watch number 54 come in there. Ben Jacobs cannot get him, and that's an easy score for the speedy Goodson.
So the point after by Szymanski is good. Texas A&M now with a 17-0 cushion and 2:14 to go before the half. A look at McGee balance, you got it from the signal caller alone. He connects on a 12-yard TD pass here.
We talked about him getting his numbers up in the passing game. He's trying to do that today. Not down the field, but throw it to your outlet here and throw it to Goodson, a speedy receiver. Good job of breaking tackles and good job of turning it around here on the fumble recovery by the defense. You get that ball back to the offense and put points on the board here before the halftime.
4 plays and 37 yards, a minute 57. Stephen McGee reacts as he gets his first TD pass of this season. Last year, McGee threw for 62% completion rate, Aggie record, and 2,295 yards, 12 scores, and just 2 interceptions.
Texas A&M, their defense has really been pretty decent today. They haven't given up a lot of yardage here. Fresno State, 19 plays, only 55 yards of total offense here in this ball game. So overall, Dennis Franchione's defense has done a pretty good job in this ball game holding down this Fresno State offense, which wants to be physical, Bill. They want to do that. They want to set up play action pass. None of it's worked. Texas A&M's done a great job defensively again today.
So the kickoff, Szymanski. Wiley touching the goal line. Ran into his own man. Flag is thrown as he is stuffed at the 20-yard line. Lamantia, 12th man, making the tackle on the play for Texas A&M.
That's likely going to go against Fresno State and actually move this back further. Probably a penalty against them on the return.
During the return, block in the back above the waist, receiving team number 3. The penalty is half the distance. First down.
Okay, Gary, you got a situation here. 2:07 to go. A&M still got 2 timeouts. They got an opportunity with a stop, good field position to get the ball back near midfield for maybe another scoring opportunity.
I think first down is key here. You look at Texas A&M and how they want to play this. Texas A&M defensively, they get a stop here on first down, minimal yardage. They'll probably let the clock continue to run and use their timeouts if they want to after second and third down to give as much time to the offense. But a delay here by Fresno State, not getting much there. The defense swallowing them up for a couple of yards, and I would expect Coach Franchione would allow the clock to run here and then perhaps think about using timeouts after second and third down.
Smith, the ball carrier, not much for him. Picks up a couple. It'll be 2nd and 8. Clock at 1:50 now. Ranstater. Fumble. Recovered this time by Smith. Now it's going to be 3rd down and around 8. Clock still moving.
Okay, for Pat Hill and his bunch, you don't want to make a lot of mistakes down here. You don't want to keep doing this. You're trying to do the delay handoff to your tailback there. He just bobbles the ball. No contact in front of him, but he should have held on to that football.
Timeouts yet. All right, we'll see if they can hold here. 1:15 and counting. In the end zone, got rid of the football.
He's going to call safety on that.
Yeah, because that would have been grounded. Flag is thrown. Let's see.
Intentional grounding. Offense, number 7. That penalty results in a safety.
That's the call. And 2 points on the board for Texas A&M.
Quarterback is back in the end zone, and he's trying to throw the ball away, but he doesn't throw it past the line of scrimmage, and that's the key point that Pat Hill has to realize there. His quarterback is throwing the ball. He's going to tell the referee that he's thrown it at one of his offensive running backs' feet here in the middle of the field, trying to set up a screen. There's number 2 right there, and trying to throw it at him. Ball falls to the ground. I don't know if the referee saw him there, but nonetheless, this play's not going to be overturned because you can't challenge this play in college football. It's going to be a safety for the Aggies. And he's definitely throwing the ball to the ground. He's not like he's trying to make an attempt to throw it to the receiver, so I think it's actually a good call by the official. And Hill's certainly not happy about that call at all.
He didn't see much go his direction here this afternoon. It's now 19-0, and Texas A&M was leading 7-0, and in the last 3 minutes and 28 seconds, they got the field goal, a touchdown, and now a safety. And it tacked on 12 more points to that 1-7-0 lead. And, of course, A&M will get the football back and does still have its 2 timeouts remaining.
Yeah, they've got time. They're going to have a little under a minute here after they return this kickoff. Going to be from Fresno State starting at their 20-yard line with the safety. So going to have a great opportunity for field position created here. And they've got speed back there returning as well with Kerry Franks. Is one of the returners for Texas A&M. If he gets the ball in his hands, he can take it, and Pierre Brown as well. So both those guys back there with big play on their mind.
And Fresno State kick it off from the 20. Brown, number 13. Sees a crease, turns it to the 40, the 50, and Brown is tackled at the 47-yard line of Fresno State.
Well, that's what you want from your kick returners in this type of a ball game. Have a chance to get back over midfield, and now you got a chance to put more points on the board. There's a flag on the play, though. This is back at the 35-yard line of Texas A&M.
Holding. Return team number 71. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. First down.
Well, here's what's coming up on the Sonic halftime report. Michael Eaves and DeMarco Farr will take care of business in our FSN studios. Miami and Oklahoma, the Sooners taking care of business with the Hurricanes today in Norman. Well, Big 12 scores and highlights all on the Sonic halftime report. Michael Eaves and DeMarco Farr.
Well, with that penalty, Bill, that takes it back 25, 27 yards against the Aggies here. So maybe not as optimistic about doing things here all the way down the field, but perhaps they can get it within field goal range.
So McGee, with 2 timeouts working, 1st and 10. To Goodson, the TV toss. He slips the tackle, scatters out of bounds at the 25, maybe the 26-yard line. 46 seconds to go.
Yeah, maybe just a short game there on the play. Nothing really to measure up to here. So
Ag's playing it safe, figuring at this point they've had a couple of miscues and haven't had to pay for them. Maybe figuring to throw downfield here, let Fresno return one to put a damper on what score-wise is a pretty impressive half. Out of the shotgun, McGee, 2nd down and 9 from the 26. Incomplete. Going right across the middle. The Schenkel. Tell you what, we've seen a lot of receivers in formation today for Texas A&M.
I think you got to keep fresh people out there, Bill. This is a hot day, humid. It takes the biggest toll on the defensive backs and the wide receivers, the guys that are doing all the running out there. And that fluid can go through you pretty quick. And these coaches are doing a good job of rolling people into the ball game on both sides of the football.
And 3 wideouts to the top of your screen here on the left side now. Empty backfield for McGee in the shotgun. 3rd and 9. Incomplete. Intended that time for number 2, Urban Taylor, senior from Mission, Texas. 35 seconds remaining.
I tell you, Pat Hill's thinking now 4th down, the Aggies are going to punt to us, and I'm going to get the football back here with my defense.
And they've already blocked 1 kick. Do you come after this today? Also, what do you got to lose here?
I think you try to put pressure on them, but obviously you have a chance to return the football too. They'll have chances. They'll have a chance on offense too after this return to move it down the field. They've got a quarterback that can throw the ball down the field. We haven't seen it today, but both teams, either one, throwing the ball down the football field.
Justin Brantley, his first punt today, he averaged 45 yards a kick in the opener, including a 57-yarder.
Oh, this is tough here because now you got a delay of game. They take a delay of game penalty and also a timeout here. Should have called the timeout before the delay of game penalty was enforced, and that's a mistake on the sidelines, guys.
And at this point,
and it only helps Fresno State in their return game. Coach Francione not happy about that on the sidelines with his assistants.
Yeah, the return man sets up now about the 35-40 yard line, and Fresno State 34 seconds, going to get the football back.
Yeah, it's a free 5 yards and force the punter to go back inside the 10-yard line, punting the ball. And you talk about the kick coverage team here for Texas A&M, and they've got all speed guys there. They got big guys in the back across right in front of the punter, but they've got speed guys out there, and they do a great job covering punts. Their net punt is about 44 yards. And they just step across and they close this up. There's be a wall right there.
Here's the kick. And Smith stopped near the 40-yard line.
39-yard punt.
39 yards on the punt, and Fresno State will have the football on the 39.
Fresno State.
With 25 seconds to go. Well, we haven't seen anything downfield all day. Will we see it now with 25 seconds to go?
Well, I would think the Branstad has got to think, hey, I got to do something here.
We've got to peg it, don't you?
We've got one timeout left, and we're out of time. Excuse me, they've got 2 timeouts left.
At least try to get something in field goal.
Get it down there 20, 25 yards, and you have a chance to put something through the post at least.
First and 10 at the 39. Quarterback Tom Branstad.
Very, very soft defense by Texas A&M. Everybody's laying back.
Incomplete near the 33-yard line.
2 receivers in the same area. A little confusion there. Which one's going to catch it? Instead of throwing it out there, and that would have been in field goal range and looked like that possibly could have been caught.
Intended for Marlon Moore. Also down there, Shea Ajer Tutu. And neither one able to come up with it. Second and 10 now with 19 seconds to go.
There's a 4-man rush here, and the linebackers are back. It's about 7, 8, 9 yards, and just an umbrella, 2 deep coverage by Texas A&M.
Branstad. The 30, dumps it off. Smith got a little room to roam. Breaks a tackle at the 30, 9 seconds to go. They're going to call timeout.
You know, last week against Montana State, similar situation here. They gave up a lot of yardage in the passing game, over 300 yards passing against Texas A&M defense here. And if you look at the coverage here, you got the safeties back here, and you got your second tier here, but that open area is right in the middle. And sure, they're trying to hold everything off of not making a huge play here, but good run after the catch by Smith.
31 yards on the pickup, and they're at the 30-yard line now. 8 seconds to go, but with a timeout remaining. So a little touchy if you throw across the middle.
You got to get down. You're not going to run into the end zone there. Probably if you catch the football and you get a pass, the clock's going to run out on you. So Pat Hill's probably telling his quarterback in this situation, get 4, 5, 6 yards if we can. Stop the clock with a timeout or get it out of bounds.
Give his kicker, Clint Stitzer, an opportunity.
Stitzer that has a 47-yard field goal to his credit this season. Tried a 48-yarder early in the ball game and didn't make that attempt.
Not been a great day for the kickers here. So with 8 seconds to go in the first half, Texas A&M trying to protect its 19-0 lead at Kyle Field. And Moore comes out split wide to the left as a quarterback, Branstad. And he's coming after it, and he is hit hard as he throws it up and out of play. 2 seconds on the clock. So with the opportunity for a 47-yarder here.
Pressure here. The defense electing them with pressure on the outside. Right as the quarterback throws the football.
Toupee, I believe.
And they say Toupee, the linebacker, coming there and getting to the quarterback and bringing him to the ground. You can see a field goal attempt right at the 37-yard line, Bill.
47-yarder for Clint Stitzer. 0-1 today, trying to get the Bulldogs on the board. This kick is long enough, but no good. So Stitzer with a miss to end the half, and a frustrating first half for Fresno State as Texas A&M holds a 19-0 lead over the Bulldogs from the Western Athletic Conference. Texas A&M getting touchdowns from Lane and Goodson. Lane on an 18-yard run, Goodson on a pass from McGee of 12 yards. They added a Zemansky field goal and a safety around all that. As a result, it adds up to 19-zip. Texas A&M in their second game of the season. And the Aggies certainly have some things to work on as well. Let's send it down to Emily Jones with Coach Fran.
Coach, I know your guys are used to the heat. I'm not so much, but you've used a lot of personnel. Is that your game plan coming in, or did you have to adjust because of the humidity?
No, that was our game plan, and we always play a lot of people on the defensive side of the ball. We probably haven't played quite as many on offense, but we're holding up real good.
Seems like both offenses are settling for the short stuff. Are you just taking what the defenses give you, and are you going to go vertical in the second half?
Well, we've tried. We've had some cold, but they've covered it pretty good. So, you know, we're not going to throw it if they're covered, and we've had to take the other ones, and so have they.
You showed some faith in your kicker. How important was that after the miss and then the block to come out, show some confidence in him, and then he nails it?
Well, Matt's a good kicker. They all missed one. I've missed a putter, too. So,
me too, Coach. Thanks so much. Best of luck in the second half. We do appreciate it. Send it now to L.A. as the Texas A&M Aggies lead this one at the half, 19-0. We've got the second half from College Station coming up in a few, but first, it's time to send it to Michael and DeMarco in the studio in L.A.
All right, back on the Sonic halftime report, and back in the end zone goes Jovorskie Lane. No one can stop him at 260, 270, whatever he is. Aggies up 19-0. Let's take a look at our Heisman contending locker room.
Oh, that's a foul.
What's
Where's
wrong?
Deshaun Jackson?
We'll get to him in a moment. But what about Steve Slayton, number 4 West Virginia, on the road in state against Marshall? Pick it up. Second quarter, Bernard Morris looking for Darius Passmore.
Yeah, you don't see this often. West Virginia outflanks. Now watch the body control. Doesn't panic. Act like you've been there before, good man. Good score.
38-yard touchdown put Marshall up 10-6. But in the fourth quarter, here comes West Virginia first, Noel Devine, and then your boy, Steve Slayton.
Yeah, basic football. We'll go through you. We're going around you. We got more guys than you have.
48-23, West Virginia rolls. What about number 6, Oklahoma, taking on Miami at home? Sam Bradford looking for Malcolm Kelly. Bradford had 5 touchdowns on the day. That tied a school record. Sooners take an early 14-3 lead. Then the defense gets involved.
Can't do this against a Bob Stoops coach team. Not only do you lose possession, it's going back for 6. Oh, Reggie Smith. Take a look back, good man. They're not there.
51-13 the final. They hold Miami to 139 yards of total offense. Number 10, Cal against Colorado State. It just went final. You mentioned Deshaun Jackson. Yep. Here's your boy.
Fastest player in the country. Let's count. 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000. Trying to get a clock on it. 4 1,000, 5 1,000. Something like 6 seconds. He's in the end zone. 73 yards. Incredible. Put him up in our lockers.
Let's go to the fourth quarter here because they're more than just Deshaun Jackson. How about that move there from Javid Best? 64 yards. Cal hangs on to win it. 34-28 was the final score. Let's go back to the Big 12 because number 17, Nebraska, on the road in ACC country, taking on Wake Forest. They're already up 13-10 in the third quarter.
Tough play to stop. You're not expecting that much speed coming off the corner. Receiver reverse, nouveau play this year. Now, this is just basic football. Hand it to Lucky. At Nebraska, you get college credit for that kind of blocking.
I'm sure you do. Yeah, Nebraska wins it on the road 20-17. All right, let's go back to Oklahoma. They absolutely destroyed a Miami team trying to make a comeback as far as the program is concerned. How scary is this Sooner team right now?
Very, very scary. If Sam Bradford continues to play the way he's played in the last 2 weeks, look out for Oklahoma. Texas, beware. Oklahoma's coming for you. But how about the Sooner defense? Held Miami to 1.5 yards per carry. I mean, you can beat anybody in the country, you do that.
Yeah, and the offense is not too bad either. They rode up nearly 500 yards on Miami. We're coming back with more on the Sonic Halftime Report. Got to check on Texas A&M and Fresno State. They got a lead in College Station, 19-0. Yeah, we're booming right towards text time. Got to get in those questions for DeMarco. 310-739-7149. Please include your first name so he can refer to you in person. That's coming up. We got some games later today, too. Don't forget, 7th-ranked Texas hosting number 19 TCU, and Colorado goes to the desert. Arizona State's waiting on them. Coming back with more on the Sonic Halftime Report. Stay with us. Texas A&M taking on BCS nemesis Fresno State right now. They're handling them easy. Lead 19-0 at the half. How about in Ann Arbor? Oregon on the road taking on Michigan. You can already hear the rumblings. How about this play? Dennis Nixon, Statue of Liberty, not so fast. Around the corner for the touchdown. DeMarco, what happened here?
Which way did he go? Who has the football? I don't know. Watch Michigan's heads. Who's got it? He's got it. I don't know. Dixon's got it. Tackle the guy with the football.
Michigan's getting it because they're getting served at home, 32-7 at the half. Wow. All right, folks, time for text time. DeMarco's been waiting. Let's start with Tommy. Will Fresno State end up winning this game in the second half?
I don't think so. I think A&M's one of the better teams in the Big 12 at grinding out with a lead and just keeping the football and keeping it away from you. No, I don't think they have a shot.
What about Lucas, who wants to know about Fresno State's defense in the first half?
You know, I like them. They're middle of the road for a WAC team, but I think they need to get better. No guys on that defense so far.
Kyle wants to know what you can do to improve the A&M offensive firepower.
Open up the passing game a little more. This team struggles if they get into third and long situations.
All right, finally, JP. DeMarco, in your day, could you stop Jovorskie Lane?
From eating? No. Definitely running, absolutely.
54 yards and a touchdown for Jovorskie Lane in that first half. Well, we got second half action to come from College Station. Thanks so much for joining us on the Sonic Halftime Report. Enjoy the second half. We'll see you.
Welcome back to Kyle Field in College Station, Texas. FSN's College Football Saturday, the Dr. Pepper Big 12 game of the week. Bill and along with Gary Reasons, all Aggies so far here at the half, and not just scoreboard, but statistically as well. Gary will take a look at those jack-in-the-box first-half stats.
Well, Texas A&M, they've done everything that they needed to do. They've run the football. They've had the time of possession. They've really got up all overall in this football game. You take a look at the total yards for Fresno State, only 58, 191 for the Aggies, and they're doing a good job of it with time of possession as well. And third down conversions are definitely been key for Texas A&M, going 6 of 10, where Fresno State not able to convert. They're on 0-5, and so that's kind of been the story of the football game. Nothing going for Fresno State offensively, and Texas A&M certainly taking advantage of their opportunities.
All right, those numbers certainly not pleasing to Fresno State and Pat Hill, and it'll be interesting to see how they react. Let's send it down to Emily Jones.
Well, guys, Coach Pat Hill echoed your sentiments. He said his offense has just plain got to get something going. He wasn't that displeased with the way his defense is played. He said outside of that opening drive in which A&M scored the first 7 points of the game, he said he felt like that his team has pretty much given up the other 12 points between the turnovers and the safety. He feels very good about the way his defense is playing, but again, offensively, they've just got to get something going.
All right, thanks, Emily. Yeah, it's hand in hand, isn't it, Gary?
It really is.
If your offense doesn't do something to sustain and encourage your defense, it's going to be a long day. The first half stars, if you will, for A&M. No surprise with McGee and Jovorskie Lane, and that touchdown run he had was impressive as he bowled into the end zone.
Good effort there by both those young men for Texas A&M offensively, getting things going, and I hope we have more of that in the second half. But Fresno has to find some offense here. Pat Hill's team is not going to be very pleased going back to Fresno.
Brown taking it a yard deep and then slammed at the 15-yard line. Big hit that time by Fresno State. Number 30, Nick Bates. Quite a shot for special teams quarter.
That's what you want to do, come out and make a little statement here. Bingo, right there. It's good coverage down the field, and Bates does a nice job making contact.
So Texas A&M getting the football here to start the second half as well. And first and 10 at the 15-yard line.
And we've got a Fresno State player down on the far sideline there, close to their bench, but hopefully he's going to be okay as he gets up. Going to get him hydrated there.
And Harris, the player, and we're told that from the sidelines that the temperature is near 140 on the field. Is that correct? Goodness gracious. And we do know, Gary, we had a chance an old locker room underneath the stadium is where the first aid setup is, and they have been, as you can imagine, almost overrun with people in the stands. That we're marveling that the band.
Exactly.
Because they were over there, what, 12:30 for a 2:30 kick?
They have not left the sunshine the entire time the Aggie band have been out there, and good to see Moses Harris get back up off the field for Fresno. But the band has been there in the sun. They haven't complained a bit, and they've got jugs and jugs of water over there. Thank goodness that they're hydrating themselves. It's difficult out here, and there's some fans that they have recuperation areas and cool zone fans underneath the stand, so fans can take a break from the heat.
McGee hands this one off. Goodson circles, looking for room. Ran out of real estate going toward the end. at the 20-yard line. Let's send it down to Emily a little bit more about the heat.
Well, guys, I can attest to the 120 heat index. It is hot as it can be out here. I did check with the first aid station. There are actually 8 located throughout the stadium. They have treated well over 100 people. I think that's a conservative estimate. They said the most action they've seen in a game was a couple years ago, a game against SMU, and they treated upwards of 500 people.
All right, thank you very much. And Texas A&M seeing if they can give them a little relief of their own, trying to get their offense going here. 2nd down and 7. From the 18. McGee got all day. There's a short man, and that is Lane. And Lane, big hit on the sideline.
Now just lower the head on the outside. I think A.J. Jefferson is the one that should come up and make a pop here, but doesn't get there. He takes the pop.
Yeah.
Old A.J.'s, Jovorskie Lane just laying it out there to him. He steps up the field and look out, big fella. Here it comes.
Jefferson. That's how Gary greets our guys on the crew at the truck every Friday when we show up. They come up. They just got to give their best shot. They just bounce off of it.
Got to have some flashbacks there. I like that kind of stuff.
Defensive attitude comes out of a
But I'd be smart. I'd tackle him a little bit lower.
Thank you. I know that much at least. 1st and 10 after that run by Lane and Goodson. Well, what a 1-2 punch. A little thunder and lightning here for these guys. And let's take a look at A&M's rushing by direction first half.
Kind of what they've done here. 9 times to the left, and they're pretty good production there. 55 yards up the gut there, 45 yards as well, and 34. And this one produced a touchdown, as we saw with Jovorskie Lane early in the first quarter, getting that in there. So they're balanced running attack, trying to move it around, and overall it's been very good for Texas A&M running the football today.
Jefferson, that was the guy that Lane ran over for the touchdown. You thought he'd learned a lesson from that?
They're on a first name basis now.
Yeah. 2nd and 1. Lane scrambling after it. Ball goes out of bounds.
Maybe first down, maybe just short of the first down. Depends on where they spot the football. Looks like somebody right at the first down marker. I think they're probably going to get a first down here on this.
Coach Pat Hill standing right there next to the officials.
Wow, they're not measuring this? They're just 2nd down here. 3rd, it's inches. Why are they not measuring this? This looks to me like it is a first down from what I'm seeing.
McGee will take the snap under center. He's got Lane behind him, but McGee will keep it himself and moves it forward impressively. Just shy of the 40-yard.
You're talking about Jovorskie Lane and how he runs and his style. You know, playing in the NFL against a guy named John Rickens, and that is what he reminds me of, how John Rickens used to run, low to the ground, had good balance, good center of gravity, and he's got that same style of bowling type of running ability. And I remember tackling John, and it was not an easy task, and he had a lot of body lean and a lot of direction that he would take, and he always fell forward for positive yardage. And that's what you see with Jovorskie Lane when he gets his momentum moving forward.
And the Aggies now 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. McGee. Oh, he got smoked and the ball is loose. It is ruled incomplete, or is it still live?
I think the referee's going to call a live ball.
Yes. Aggies say they pounced on it, but whoa, wait a minute. Fresno State has recovered.
And one of the things that we talked about with the officials in Big 12 Media Day was about allowing plays to finish and allow them to call them, because if there's a necessity to have this as a forward pass, they could review this play. They could call that
Brown hit him.
Good call. Good non-call, rather, and good job by Fresno putting pressure on him. Jovorskie Lane had a good block on the far side. He knocks his guy out, but then you bring too many here on the backside. There's Brown making the contact, and the ball pops out. Fresno recovers it and got good starting position here at the 32-yard line.
Ramos nearly picked it up. The Fresno State Bulldogs get the recovery. 1st and 10 at the 32 of Texas A&M. And here is Harding, turning to the outside, to the 20-yard line and more. I beg your pardon, that is not Harding. That is Matthews. Ryan Matthews with the carry. You know, I was just going to say, Gary, that it's the first series of the 3rd quarter. A&M pinned on their own 15, look like they're making some headway. Fresno needed to do something. They came up with a big play. Now they need to score.
I'm sure that's what Pat Hill told his team in the locker room. They need a defensive stop or a turnover, and they got the turnover here. And good offense out there, the physical power run there. Good job that time moving the football.
Matthews a 15-yard pickup, a 14-yard pickup, and the ball this time, nothing doing. A loss on the play. as Matthews hit by Henry Smith, the senior from Aliceville, Alabama, up front for the Aggies.
And Fresno with some field goal attempts today only. Nothing really down here close to the goal line, and come up empty on field goal attempts. But now here's a chance to start the third quarter to get some momentum on your side. You've got to create something offensively, take a little pressure off the defense. The defense hasn't played poorly today for Fresno State, but the offense hasn't given them any room to work with.
You got to have some points on this series. 2nd and 12. And complete to Crowley. Still on his feet. Good second effort. Pugh was there to make the stop.
Kind of a strange spot there on the line judge. Looked like the forward progress is around the 14-yard line. He got knocked backwards and had to mark it around the 16-yard line. Crowley was sort of caught the football. And I don't think a good spot for Fresno.
3rd and 8. Officials here today. Ball on the 16. Stater, they're coming after it. He releases, complete, and it is a touchdown, Fresno State Bear Pasco. Pasco, the tight end, boy, they read that perfectly, and Pasco gets the TD, his 2nd of the season.
Yeah, no inside coverage from Texas A&M there on the seam route by the tight end, Bear Pasco. He's on the left side of the formation here, and the quarterback, Brandstatter's watching him the whole way. A linebacker does not bracket him from the inside, and that's what allows him to get there. He's going to come up the seam and work here and look to the inside. Nobody there. Allows him inside. He cannot do that, and that's an easy throw and catch. So good job by Fresno here converting after turnover.
Stood the 3 of 3 on the season in PATs for the point after. And this one is good. So Texas A&M fumbles the football. Fresno State takes advantage of it. Pasco the TD, and it's 19-7 now. The Dr. Pepper Big 12 Football Game of the Week on FSN is brought to you by Sport Clips, where guys win. By Bolero, the energy to take you anywhere. And by Whataburger, just like you like it. For the liking of Fresno State, as we welcome you back to Kyle Field at Texas A&M in College Station. Bear Pasco, the 16-yard TD reception to get them on the board, 19-7, following the fumble recovery.
And that's what you like to have as a conversion there after the fumble recovery, and take it down the field and put points on the board. The Fresno State Bulldogs doing a good job with that to start this third quarter.
Pierre Brown from the 4, 10, 15, Brown on the 30, 35-yard line. Pierre Brown.
60-yard Brown on the return.
Tell you what, I, for one, love the kickoff at the 30. It's made the kickoff fun again, Gary.
It does. It brings the ball out. It gives you a good field position to start with offensively. Let's take another look at the touchdown here. You take a look at the quarterback, Brandstatter. He sees it. His tight end's working inside there. It looks like Obazor, 49, is actually a defensive end, was out there trying to get in the way of him, but kind of a miscommunication, I believe, in the secondary by Texas A&M, allowing inside easy throw lane to the tight end, Bear Pasco.
And Brandstatter now is 7 of 12 for 82 yards. McGee brings him out. Stephen is 11 of 17 for 68 yards at a TD. That pass was to Goodson in the first half. 1st and 10 at the 37 of Texas A&M. And they hand off to Goodson here. Towards forward at the 40.
Mike Goodson on the carry.
Pickup of 6 yards for Mike Goodson, sophomore. We mentioned all conference last year. He racked up 847 yards rushing and a 6.7 per carry. He also caught 17 passes for 113 yards. It's quite a combo with Goodson and Jovorskie Lane alternating back there. 2nd and 4 now for the Aggies. Goodson broke a couple of tackles. What a heck of a run to get a yard or two.
And off goes number 3, Mike
It's an assignment football that we talk with the Fresno State coaches about. They have to do that on that zone read option play that Texas A&M runs very, very well. And they've got speed players like Mike Goodson who get the ball in their hands and make big plays and well defense that brings up a 3rd and short here for Texas A&M. I've got a timeout call on the field here. We've got a player down for Fresno State.
A.J. Jefferson, who taken a couple of shots earlier.
This will also be a media.
All right, we'll see if we can get rid of that cramp for Jefferson, and we'll be back with more. It is 19-7 Aggies. Well, not everybody's an Aggie fan here. There's some Bulldog fans, and there are even couples here. Yes, told this couple have been together waiting for 16 years for this first-time matchup between their two schools, the Aggies and Fresno State. Welcome back here as Goodson carries the football, is knocked out of bounds on the Aggie sideline.
Kind of an unlikely couple here, but nonetheless it works.
First time these two schools have gotten together in football, Fresno State and Texas A&M. And another player down here, this time for Fresno State, that is Marvin Haynes, free safety, who was slow to get up there, number 19. He's being helped back the other way.
They're going to spot the football here just short of, looks like about just up past the 45-yard line, so it's going to be short of a first down here.
Fresno State getting on the board to start this third quarter after the fumble recovery. Pasco, a 16-yard pass reception from Brandstater, and now Texas A&M trying to answer, and they've got a 4th and 2, and they'll bring the punting unit on, Justin Brantley, to kick it away. Brantley with one kick in the first half for 39 yards. Clifton Smith is the deep man for Fresno State. He stands on his own 10. High kick from Justin Brantley. And down near the 27-yard line. And that's where Fresno State will get possession. So, tell you what, they've quieted the stadium. Let's send it down to Emily Jones.
Well, guys, you know A&M is full of rich tradition, and one of the traditions is their mascot, Reveille, who is usually here at the games. But I just spoke with some of the core members. I asked them where Reveille was today because I had not seen the dog, and apparently she's on probation because she bit her handler. So Reveille not in attendance today at this A&M game.
Goodness gracious. Rough times here in Aggie land.
Dog on suspension here. Wow,
that's
it's going to make the news.
Thanks for that exclusive, Emily. Here's the pass to Smith. And a fumble football, and the Aggies have recovered at the 31-yard line. And just like that, turnovers so big. You're thinking Fresno's finally got a little momentum. The crowd was quiet. Maybe it was because there was a cloud over here and they were finally catching their breath, but now they'll get right back into it.
Good job by Patterson falling on the ball there for Texas A&M. Contact right on the football here. Little throw there inside and just turning upfield for Smith, and right there, boom. Ball comes out and Patterson jumps on top of it. Kind of turn things around here in a hurry. You think the Texas A&M offensively, they got stopped on that series by the Bulldogs, and they look like the offense is going to get going again. But a nice play there for the turnover back to give the Aggies the football back.
Lucas Patterson, a redshirt freshman from Kingsville, Texas, dodged. The linebacker helped create that fumble, and Patterson smothered it. Now 1st and 10 at the 30. Lane had a lane to go through, didn't he? He takes it down near the 21-yard line.
Number 11, Jovorskie Lane.
2nd and short coming up for Texas A&M.
Yeah, what you look at here is really you look at the time of possession in this football game. Throughout the whole ball game, it's 20 minutes to 12 minutes is what Texas A&M has had the football. And that means the defense for Fresno State has been out there quite a bit, and Texas A&M, their offense, is being very, very physical on them. You take Jovorskie Lane running downhill, and that's not an easy guy to tackle.
And am I right? It has been proven you don't get as tired on offense.
No.
I mean, in that time of possession, you're rolling, you're feeling pretty good. Here is Lane. First down easily. A couple more tacked onto it. Inside the 18-yard line for Jovorskie Lane. Numbers starting to add up. The Aggies last week had 390 yards of total offense. Gary mentioned not a lot in the passing game, particularly downfield, but 261 yards rushing last week. And the Ags right now 31 for 165 this afternoon.
Yeah, good job on moving the football today effectively, but not necessarily through the air, and they're taking what the defense is giving them. And I think the offensive line for Texas A&M has done a really nice job of controlling the line of scrimmage against this defensive front of Fresno State.
You saw that note on turnovers. Fresno with 3 miscues, and the Aggies have turned it over once. So that's a number that certainly been huge for both teams. Goodson tackled here at the 18-yard line.
Now watch your fullback here. See what he does, a good old number 12. It's a pretty good block. Goodson gets tackled in the backfield. 12th man, he's playing quite a bit today. Playing a little offense, special teams.
Wilson Ramos makes the tackle, sophomore from Woodland, California. Goodson 13 for 39 on the ground. Lane 10 for 74. And McGee 9 carries, 51 yards for the Aggies. 3 wideouts this time to the left on a 2nd and 11 at the 18 of Fresno State. Goodson. That hole closed quickly. Bounce it out, and he is stuffed at the 16-yard line.
Yeah, it looked to me like if he'd have taken that ball around the outside, all 3 of the receivers on the top of the field have gotten a pretty good block. They got their players handled pretty well, but he chose to go back inside the tackle, and Goodson got bottled up pretty quickly there for a short gain, so it brings up a 3rd and long now.
We'll call it 3rd and 9 at the 16.
Texas A&M, they've got a pretty big offensive line. I think we're going to take a look at him here in just a second.
Taylor and Corey to wide left. Now Brown in motion. Timeout called by Texas A&M Stephen McGee. First time out of the second half. 19-7 Texas A&M. We'll be back after this word from Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottlers. Texas A&M with a 19-7 lead and marching again as we speak. Bill Land, Gary Regions, Emily Jones with you. Welcome back to Kyle Field in College Station, Texas. And here you were mentioning the line. There is a huge difference between the O and the D here of A&M right now.
Yeah, 50-pound advantage across the front there per man by the defensive standards and the offensive lineman weight. And huge numbers there. And it kind of wears on the defense over the course of the ball game when they're running as well as they have.
All day for McGee, a 3rd and 9, incomplete, intended for Martellus Bennett. Bennett, who had 4 receptions in the first half to lead them. Couldn't quite reach this one.
Decent job here by Fresno State of negating a touchdown opportunity for Texas A&M. They're probably going to line up for a field goal attempt here off of that turnover that they had. So Steve McGee not getting the job done out there with his offensive unit.
So the field goal attempt for Zemansky, 1 of 3 today, and he sets up here. 32-yarder is good. So Zemansky hits this one, and the Aggies make it a 22-7 ball game. Well, we got a little break here. Let's send it back down to Emily Jones.
Well, guys, it's obvious what Stephen McGee, the quarterback for Texas A&M, does for his team on the field, but off the field, he contributes as well. Last year, he bought the entire offensive starting unit, 12 chain links, all united together to represent each member of the starting offensive unit as well as the 12th man. This year, he tried to continue that theme of unity and gave each person maroon wristbands. They say band of brothers. So he is clearly very involved in this team, not only what they do off the field, but promoting the unity and the togetherness of this entire unit off of it as well.
Yeah, and was a comment Coach Fran was telling us yesterday. Thanks, Emily. He said if he wasn't going to be a quarterback, he'd like to be an offensive lineman. I don't know if he means it, but that's a smart one to say when you do or not. And knowing Stephen McGee, I think he probably does mean he is all about team.
He's got a competitive attitude, there's no doubt about that, and he loves being part of the team. He loves being out there, and he's a clown in practice. He does a lot of different things, and he's a true leader on this football team.
6 plays, 17 yards, 32-yard field goal after 5 stall. This kick by Zemansky. They're going to down it in the end zone. It'll be a touchback. It gives us time for Dr. Pepper game break. Let's check in with Michael Lees.
All right, Bill, let's go to the SEC. Does Nick Saban really have that tide rolling, taking on Vandy on the road? Terry Grant was rolling 173 yards, 2 touchdowns. Crimson Tide roll over Vanderbilt 24-10. They've won 16 straight SEC openers. Bill, back to you.
Thank you very much. There's no doubt that the excitement is back in Tuscaloosa with Nick Saban's arrival. As the competition stiffens, we'll see just how good the Tide. Dennis Franchione trained A&M from Alabama. And his 5th year here. His team up 22-7 right now. Fresno State a 1st and 10, and a timeout is called by the quarterback, Ranstad.
Yeah, play clock running down on him. Didn't want to lose the yardage there, so smartly calls a timeout. Pat Hill not happy about having to use those timeouts early. Got to get the communication in, get the play called, and get things going.
And let's check in again with Emily Jones.
But guys, you might notice on the back of the Fresno State helmets, there's a green V, and it's a very interesting, the meaning behind it. It represents the pride in California's San Joaquin Valley, which is the richest agricultural region in the country. And talking to Pat Hill about it, it's very important that these guys not only represent Fresno State, but they also represent the entire community in which they live. And he talks about the academics and how that's as important as anything they've done there is to improve the academic quality that these student athletes get while they're at Fresno State, and he's definitely doing a good job in that area.
Certainly has. 1st and 10 on the 20. Smith a few yards. Their GPA, their grade point average, was a 2.2 when he arrived. It's up to 2.87, and when you're dealing with that many folks, that's a huge jump, and interesting to see him talk so much about that.
And also here on the helmets too, they've got some dog bones that Coach Hill is handing out. Those are from special plays and superlatives, and it's kind of a way to put some dog bones out there, make them happy, and it's kind of increases competitiveness between the team and how they award plays for superlative play.
2nd and 3 at the 27. Matthews has the first down, it would appear. Yep, across the 30 to the 31-yard line.
You know, we talked about Emily Jones talking about the academics there, and since Pat's been there, they've had 93 academic all-WAC conference performers there, and that's pretty impressive. That university's done a good job now under Pat Hill of graduating their seniors, graduating players, and doing very, very well in the classroom. It's turned out to be one of the better academic schools on the West Coast.
We've got 3 graduates on this squad alone. 1st and 10 at the 32 now for the Bulldogs, trailing 22-7. Penn State hands it off again. Matthews, nice crease this time, up to the 37-yard line.
And one of the things they haven't been able to do is run the football effectively. I've talked about them in the past having a 1,000-yard rusher each season.
First down markers brought to you by Overstock.com. Live better with savings up to 70% on amazing deals from Overstock.com. It's all about the O.
Dwayne Wright last year, a 1,000-yard rusher, and really haven't been able to get the running game going a lot here today against Texas A&M. Been a good effort by the Aggies defensively slowing down the running game of the Bulldogs.
2nd and 5 of the 37. Here comes the rush, and the pass is complete to Marlon Moore. Forward progress near the first down. Let's see where they spot it. Patterson made the tackle for A&M.
Getting the first down, but good job here getting rid of the football, Brandstater, and going up for the football and holding on to it after a good hit there by Patterson.
Well, Fresno going to have to throw it because you mentioned, Gary, there are 20 rushes for 45 yards with 5:24 to go in the 3rd quarter. Now they have thrown it for 90 yards on 9 of 14 for Brandstater.
Yeah, and with their style of offense, they need to be able to run the football because that opens up their passing game.
Brandstater going deep, and it is complete at the 25-yard line. And Ajir Atutu comes up with a grab.
If this ball had been thrown a little bit deeper, it could have been an easy touchdown here. Brandstater does a little pump and go here on the receiver. He's going to go up here and then shuttle and go across deep. And watch you see him shut down there and around. Ball a little bit underthrown there, but he got behind the cornerback there on the right side. And a little pump fake there by the quarterback as we talked about. And wide open down the field.
Ajir Atutu, a sophomore. Shea Ajir Atutu is out of El Dorado Hills, California. And the Bulldogs are back in business. 1st and 10 at the 25. Matthews trying to find a hole. He gets to just shy of the 20-yard line.
Nice looking drive here by the Bulldogs. Getting going here offensively. Brandstater completing a couple of passes. The running game working effectively, and that's what they'd like to have going there. We talked to Coach McElwain about balance, the offensive coordinator for Fresno State, and about getting balance and moving the ball down the field, and that's what they'd like to get here. You don't have a dual threat quarterback in Brandstater. He's not the guy that's going to run it out of the pocket. He needs to get his running backs running the football. He needs to have his receivers making plays when he throws in the ball.
Fresno State, 2nd and 5. Clock ticking, 4:14 to go in the 3rd. Matthews low to the ground, and he's got another chain mover as he takes it all the way inside the 14-yard line. Fresno State, some folks forget, this is a team that went a bowl yearly basis until last year. They stumbled at 4-8. They lost some games to turn that one around, and he's trying to get it back. And very happy with his talent. They're just young.
Yeah, and they look like they're trying to be very, very physical on this drive with the Aggie defense, and it looks like they're making pretty good progress with the run game.
7 straight goals until last time sometime in the night. First and 10 at the 12. Aggies stiffen here. Picks up a couple down to the 10-yard line, Matthews. Well, here's the challenge. You come to the zone, as they label it here at Kyle Field, and all of a sudden those yards become a whole lot tougher.
You got the fans there, everybody up standing, waving towels and making noise, and it gets loud out there, hard to operate and communicate. Quarterback probably won't have an opportunity to change the play, especially with his voice.
2nd and 8. Matthews trying to go outside. He does the 5, and he'll score. Bulldogs pick up another 6. Ryan Matthews, the freshman, scoots in.
Good job of reading around the edge that time instead of taking it inside. And receivers on the outside did a good job of walling their guys inside and making a block. And Tapia out there making a good block. Watching number 88, the tight end, Bingo, gets him to the ground. Fans here saying they're watching on the Jumbotron. They're thinking there might have been a penalty on that play, maybe perhaps a hold.
I didn't think it was as good a block as you did. They thought it was a pretty good hold. Here's the point after by Stitson. And it is good. So the second touchdown in the 3rd quarter for Fresno State. The freshman Matthews had a sensational high school career. Picking up where he left off. Last week he ran for 77 yards to pace him in the running game in their win against Sacramento State. And his TD here makes it a 22-14 game following the PAT after a 10-yard scamper.
It's a 1-score difference now in his ball game with the 8 points for a touchdown perhaps, and touchdown and a 2-point conversion. So Fresno State right back in his ball game, no doubt about that. And yardage, they're actually taking away. Look here, look at the yardage up, 135 for the Bulldogs, and Texas A&M only 41 total yardage in this game, 232 for the Aggies to 193 for Fresno State. So they're chipping away at that and also chipping away at the points.
Well, it's impressive is that's a 9-play, 80-yard drive. There was nothing given to them on this drive, and they took it right at the Aggies after Texas A&M. They got the ball on turnover, but they just got a field goal, and that was almost a little bit of a victory for, I think, Fresno State.
Fresno State, they've come to Texas, and they've played Texas teams. They've played a bunch of games. They've actually gone 20-10-1 against Texas teams. This is all universities in Texas, but they have never beaten a Big 12 Texas team. This would be a pretty good victory if they were able to pull this out somehow today for Fresno State.
Mayor Brown. 20. And they swarm tacklers for the Bulldogs there. And that's where A&M will operate. College Football Saturday triple header rolls on today after our game. 19th rated TCU and 7th ranked Texas. Big showdown, some BCS implications there for both clubs. Coverage begins right after this game on FSN. And of course, Joel Myers as well as Big Dave Lapham, your eating cohort.
Oh, yeah.
Watch it all as Jim Knox on the sidelines. Colt McCoy, Texas quarterback.
I'm not sure that the guys had as good a meal as we had here at Bryan, Texas, adjacent to College Station here last night. Our friends, good friends at Doe's Restaurant, and general manager there, Brian, always taking care of us. Great meal here.
Man, saw you later. You still had the bib on. Love it. Here's Goodson and a fired up Fresno State defense. Trying to respond now. Riley making the tackle.
And it kind of goes in momentum spurts, no doubt about that. This is kind of a football game where things have gone the way of Texas A&M a little bit now back towards Fresno State. And they just want to capitalize. And if you're Pat Hill and company, you're thinking, okay, get a good defensive stop here, get the football back, and get that next score, and perhaps we can tie this ball game up.
2nd down and 10. McGee out of the shotgun. Taylor to the right. Thomas the man in motion. The tight end. Here's McGee on the outside. Flying through the air. The flag thrown as well to the 28-yard line.
And Marcus Riley, they're upending Luckett Stevens' helmet. Look at that. Yeah, that's what hit first, I guess. Look at the tackle here low for Marcus Riley.
Offense, number 64. 10-yard penalty Replay, second down.
Really lost the football.
And he lands right on his face mask, too. So Riley there comes off the block, goes up in Stephen McGee, and lands right on his helmet. The ball actually went to touch the ground, so he's actually down there. So the ball cannot cause a fumble.
Huge turnover that would have been.
But a penalty against the Aggies knocks them back. They're inside their 15-yard line now, so Fresno State got a little momentum.
Tell you what, it's a team that, again, they're not intimidated by the surroundings. Having played everywhere from Oklahoma, Tennessee, LSU, almost beat USC in 05, then Wisconsin and won up there at Pennsylvania. There's Goodson. Goodson hit hard, and a loss on that play as Fresno State continues.
Well, they're playing well, and there's kind of been a little bit of cloud cover come in here, and maybe they're feeling a little rejuvenated. The heat, sun's not right in their face down there, but it's a pretty good shot outside.
Listen in. Hands a popping. Oh my!
Oh, I can see it in his face. Look at his face. Oh, he got popped.
Bell is the player down after this, number 20. You see him holding a knee, it looks like. Let's hope that's not serious.
Excess of 100 degrees on the field, kind of a warm day, and you see the cloud cover there now moving in. Forecast today was for scattered thunderstorms around this area. Nothing's rolled in here as of yet.
Hot, humid day in College Station, Texas. Not unusual for this time of year.
No.
Fresno State players, coaches talking about, hey, we practice in triple digits, so it shouldn't be a problem. I heard a few other staff members say our triple digits aren't like this humidity. There is a bit of a difference. But both teams obviously in excellent shape, and we're down to it here. 1:15 to go in the third, and it's 3rd and 15. We'll see if the Ags want to take it deep and play action. McGee dumping it. Can't quite connect with Goodson.
Trying to elect to go to the middle screen there and do not complete the pass to Goodson. He had pressure up in the face of Stephen McGee and forced to throw a little bit high and not able to get it down to his receiver. You see him watch number 3 check down here and try and do the screen. You see the lineman getting out of there. Ball incomplete. Might have a little something there to work with if Goodson had to hold on that ball, but now 4th down, and we'll see the punt team come on again.
That's Brantley, and he's lined up to receive it inside his 5-yard line. Good snap. One man coming in almost slipped by that mini wall. Here's Smith, number 36. And brought down Aggie style, 44-yard line. And good field position for Fresno State. It's time for Dr. Pepper Game Break. Let's check in again with Michael Eaves.
All right, Bill, let's go back to the big house where it's getting ugly for Michigan. Oregon destroying the Wolverines at home thanks in large part to Dennis Dixon. Oregon 39-7 over Michigan. Check out the numbers for Dennis Dixon. 346 total yards and 4 touchdowns. It's getting ugly in Ann Arbor, guys.
Wow. What a whipping. The Ducks putting on the Wolves, and now we see how they react to that loss to Appy State last week. Right here, Fresno State now with the football down 8 and a breaker by Matthews. And Matthews carries a couple with him to the Texas A&M 40-yard line.
Well, I think Fresno State has made some adjustments up front to be able to take on this defensive front here. Watch the offensive lineman. They take an inside charge. Fullback does a nice job of leading through the hole on the linebacker. And good job of going up behind. And Anthony Lewis got blocked out of the play there. The middle linebacker coming over. So Fresno State getting on their blocks and allowing their tailbacks to make yardage.
16-yard pickup for Matthews, and Matthews now 9 carries, 49 yards, scored the last time, and it's 1st and 10 at the Ags 40. Matthews again, weaving his way through traffic, and a flag is thrown after the play.
Right in the middle of the line of scrimmage there, so.
Late flag.
It's the umpire who threw the flag, and he's conversing with the referee.
There are 2 fouls on the play. Holding offense number 72. 5-yard incidental face mask defense. Those penalties will offset. Play 1st down.
Bobby Lepre, the tackle for Fresno State, the culprit, but then they get the offsetting, so a break there.
I only saw one flag on the field, though, so maybe the umpire decided to call 2 penalties in the same play with 1 flag. I guess he could do that.
Got the striped shirt, you do what you want. Got the flag in your pocket. He's the boss.
Well, a lot of flags in the stands now. They're waving and getting loud here.
Trying to get this Aggie defense to stiffen up. They have been shredded in the 3rd quarter. It's 1st and 10 now at the 40. And wait a minute.
That's the end of the 3rd quarter.
That's the end of the quarter. We all got so focused, me included, forgot the clock was
That
running
is the
out.
end of the 3rd quarter.
That's 3, and we've turned it into a ball game. Texas A&M 22, Fresno State 14 after 3 quarters on FSN. Here's our game summary after 3 quarters at Kyle Field in College Station, Texas. Fresno State trailing on the big stat, 22-14. But look at the second half yards. Outgaining the Aggies 151-46. Turnovers, Fresno State's had 3 of them. There's your 3rd down conversions where they've struggled. But what a turnaround. And as we welcome you back for the start of the 4th quarter, Bill Land, Gary Reasons, Emily Jones, our FSN crew, turned into quite a football game after a first half that saw the Aggies outgain them 191-78. And now it's Fresno ball, 1st and 10 at the 40 of Texas A&M. Harding. Fresno State, not brag, but they felt confident, Gary, of their stable of running backs. They're using that stable, and a little change of pace here and there with different styles, keeping people fresh as they can.
Yeah, it looks like that's what they're doing. They're trying to get people to run in there, and the offensive line is really taking charge right now. And the defensive tackles, the defensive line are not getting off the blocks like they should to be making plays inside, and Fresno State is taking advantage of that with the run game.
Harding 4 carries, 13 yards. Matthews leads him 10 for 65. Matthews back in here. And Matthews stopped there. It'll be a 3rd and 5 now coming up.
And a critical 3rd down here for Fresno State. You got great field position. I think this is actually Pat Hill, if he's going to think about it. It's 2-down territory. If I'm Pat Hill and I'm on the road, I'm thinking I'm going to utilize these 2 plays to definitely get a 1st down here for my football team. Doesn't matter if they come up a little short here. Just have that mentality of use 2 downs to try to continue the momentum that you have with the team.
3rd and 4 at the 34-yard line. Harding the back, stays in the block. Pass is complete. Moore to the 10-yard line, and it'll be 1st and goal for the Bulldogs. Little slant on the inside, and Marlon Moore, the sophomore from Sacramento, makes the reception, and the Fresno State Bulldogs are a 1st and goal at the 9-yard line.
Yeah, it's an all slant here. You got the tight end coming across, and you got Moore right up the middle, and it's just a zone coverage, and they just get in between them. Good job of execution. Yeah, kind of lost a tire there. You got to go get that thing reinflated.
1st and goal from the 9. Harding met head on at near the 7-yard line by Misi Tupe.
Well, the linebackers are stepping up trying to make plays, but the defensive line for Texas A&M is not getting off the blocks inside there, and a good job by Fresno State of staying on their blocks. And watch the physical play there. You see the play inside, taking the 2 technique out of the play. Actually does make it a little bit on the block. I think it's Matthews, but you got to get off those blocks to help your linebackers and stop Fresno State from running inside. Good job here by the Bulldogs and moving the football.
And it's 2nd and goal from the 7. To throw, Brandstater. Complete, Crowley. And he is brought down at the, let's see where they spot, about the 2.5. Misi Tupe again with the tackle. Jason Crowley, sophomore from Pittsburgh, California, made the reception.
That was the thing that we talked about last week with Montana State playing the Aggies, that, they give up a lot of yards and a lot of big plays, but you know what? They only got 7 points because the windows get really short. It's hard to score, and you play good red zone defense, you're going to win a lot of football games, and there's a chance that the Aggies backed up against the wall here to make a play here on 3rd down.
3rd and goal from the 2. Harding, the tailback, gets the football, and he pushes in. Touchdown, Fresno State. Now do you go for 1 or 2?
I think it's a done deal. You're going to go for 2 here. Maybe early to start chasing points, but really they're just going to go for 2. It's not a I don't think it's a tough call at all. I think you stay in there and you get it. You get the play call that you've worked on for your two-point conversion. Good job, a good surge by the offensive line for Fresno State, pushing the Aggies back out of there. And offensively, this line has come alive in the third quarter, now beginning of the fourth here for Fresno State.
So a chance to tie it up as Pat Hill. I have to ask him, we had a great time talking to him yesterday, if he's got his chart. Everybody talks about the chart. To me, you don't pay attention to any of that until the fourth quarter. I think at that point, you try to size up your game and opportunity. And here, you're going for the two-pointer. Brandstein.
He's to run it.
And complete.
He's got it.
And it is a two-point conversion. We've got a tie ball game. Ajiar Tutu with the reception. And Fresno State has come all the way back. 11:53 remaining. 22-22. Texas A&M at Fresno State. 22-22. Fresno State on the two-point conversion pass. And Ajiar Tutu with the reception. And Shea Ajiar Tutu makes it a 22-22 game on the pass from Brandstater.
A very impressive drive that time. Taking it all the way down here. Take a look what Pat Hill, what he wants to do. And this is his mantra. Anytime, any place, anytime. And this is who he's played. This is who they go and play, compete against. And they can't get people to come into Fresno, so they go on the road, and that's what they do. They play this caliber of football team and add Texas A&M to that mix.
Yeah, they won at Wisconsin. They won at Kansas State. Kansas State is returning their game this year in November. And, of course, they've got a game with Oregon next week. More on that in just a moment. Let's get the kickoff return. Pierre Brown takes it out to near the 24-yard line, and let's check in with Michael Eaves and a Dr. Pepper game break.
All right, Bill, let's go to Happy Valley. Number 15, Penn State hosting Notre Dame. Of course, Penn State was destroyed last year in South Bend. Anthony Morelli looking deep, gets picked off by Darren Walls. Back he comes down the sidelines. Look at the blocking. Almost looked like he's running back a punt. 73 yards for the score. Notre Dame with the early lead. They're looking for a third straight win over the Nittany Lions as well. They're up in the first quarter, 7-0. Bill, back to you.
Thanks, Michael. The Irish trying to recover from that pounding they took from Georgia Tech last week.
Scoring with a deep good for them. They got to find some offense up there with the Irish.
Texas A&M giving it to Lane on this first down carry. Fans a little restless.
Well,
and rightfully so, as they saw a game where they were in control 19-0 at the half, and it's now 22 apiece.
Well, I think the change has really been at the line of scrimmage. What's happening there, both on the offensive side, the defensive side for Pat Hill's football team, is the line play. Fresno State has come out this third quarter and now into the fourth quarter and really dominated the line of scrimmage.
11-17 and counting for Texas A&M. 2nd and 9 for Stephen McGee and crew. He's got Lane beside him there in the backfield. And he completes this one. Franks makes the reception just shy, or is he, of the first down near the 34.
Looks like we're going to spot it just at the first down and probably give him the first down mark here if I can.
I think he's going to be all right.
If my vision's correct. And they're going to measure this to come out and take a look at it. He could have turned up right there and had an easy first down, but he decided to go back for more yardage and allowed the defender to make a tackle, and it's Moses Harris coming in on the play.
It was interesting during the timeout, Gary, following the touchdown, that Fresno State, their small band of players over there, they showed some highlights on the big video screen here, and they showed Oregon pounding Michigan, and that is Fresno's next opponent. Fresno State is at Oregon, and they take the idea, we want everybody we play to be unbeaten. If we're going to play these big boys, and we're going to make any dent in rankings and in BCS hopes, we have to play them when they're unbeaten. So their players get a little motivated by seeing Oregon winning big against Michigan.
Yeah, we talked to Pat Hill about scheduling and all those different things, and really the stars have to align correctly for a team from the WAC conference to be able to be in the BCS hunt, because they're an outside of the BCS conference, and they've got to, have superlative play. They almost got to run the table entirely, and they've got to have some quality wins, and then their opponents would have to have some quality wins against BCS schools to kind of make all that fit.
You notice the Ags got the first down. Sun comes out. Seems appropriate for him. First and 10 to 34. McGee back to pass in trouble. Unloads it.
Good pressure that time by Fresno State. They've got good coverage on the outside and good timely blitz that time from both sides. Texas A&M in a play action mode. Take a look at it here to see the play action and trying to get back, and good speed on the outside. And the 31 doing a good job getting up there. Marcus Riley, the linebacker.
Second and 10. Overstock.com has the best online price guarantee and savings up to 70%. Shop at Overstock.com. It's all about the O. First down marker brought to you by Overstock.com. Second and 10 at the 34. Smith, the man in motion. McGee. And going to Martellus Bennett.
Well, I think the fans are restless here. I think everyone in the stadium is kind of restless for the Texas A&M offense. And Les Kenny, the offensive coordinator, is calling a very conservative game plan here. Nothing vertical against Fresno State. And maybe he doesn't think he has the manpower to go up and run against these guys, but they've got great speed. You take Kerry Franks, number 8. Kerry is a guy who's got 4.3 speed, and he should be able to run down the field. If nothing else, Bill, you've got to show a defense that you're willing to take a shot at it down the field. If not, the defense is going to pull up, and they're going to be tight as they are right now. Tight coverage the entire ballgame.
They keep pushing up. Let's see if they try to explode it on 3rd and 8. McGee, good protection here. Then they come late. And he was trying to hook up with Bennett.
That was just great coverage there, and there was only, unfortunately for Texas A&M on the play call, there was only one receiver past the first down marker, which is about 8 yards down the field. You take a look at it here, and look to where the receivers go, and I think he's the only one that comes down the field that gets past the first down yardage. The first down is here, and these guys are all in front of it. Doesn't even give them a chance to make a first down with that play call.
Ramos was the one that came with the late pressure on McGee, and now it's 4th and 8, and that'll bring Brantley on. He's an all-star punter. There's little doubt about that. Second team all-conference pick last year and averaged 44.3. And his net has been even better in that first game this year. Booms this one. Smith, the returnee. Making a break. Got a man to beat there and is tackled and pushed down near the 34-yard line. And the Bulldogs coming back, trying to take the lead when we come back with a 22 apiece at Kyle Field. Fresno State, Texas A&M. The scene, Kyle Field, the score 22-22. Why? Bulldogs been winning the physical battle, Gary.
Yeah, look at it up front here. You see the movement that they get on the defensive front for Texas A&M. Those guys are not getting off blocks, and Fresno State just taking advantage of it, being more physical here in the second half for this football game. Had some struggles early on, but they punched it in here. They got this game tied up, and they feel like they can win it, and they go on first down here. They get a very good run and get out there for 5 or 6 more yards. So the Fresno State offense has found a way to stay on the blocks, and their backs are running very well behind them.
And you take a look at those yardages, and Fresno State just a completely different ball club here in this second half. And Harding got that last carry. He picked up 6 on the 1st and 10. Now 2nd and 4 as we approach the 9-minute mark remaining in the game. Harding again, and
I didn't see it. It looked like a face mask almost, the way he kind of spun around and came down. Maybe they got him on the players looking like, hey, how can you not see a face mask on his head? He's spun him around right there in the middle of the field, and even the people in the stands watching the replay, they're saying, watch the right hand go up on his feet.
Oh my goodness!
I mean, that's about as blatant face mask as you're going to see, and nonetheless, it goes the way of the.
We remind you again, they are WAC officials, so the line from Fresno fans that, oh, those Big 12 guys are giving it to us. No, they just miss them sometimes. 3rd and 4. And it is complete to Moore for the first down. Good catch by Marlon Moore, the sophomore from Sacramento, California.
Good job that time again. The double slant route that time to the near side. Just have the tight end clear across, and then you bring in the slant route with Moore again. That was the same play they had in the red zone area, which gave them a first down before. So Fresno State, they've made some adjustments as we take a look at a Texas A&M player down on the field. And
Mark Dodge
down there, the linebacker. But Fresno State's made adjustments coming out in the second half, and they've done a good job of capitalizing on those adjustments.
Well, we're glad to have with us up here in the booth Hall of Famer here at Texas A&M now, former head coach Jackie Sherrill's been a part of our FSN college football crew as well. And a little sweaty palms when you come back Aggie Land and see this one right here, Jackie?
I tell you, from the first half to this half, it's flipped, and I don't know what Pat did at halftime, but he did something to him.
Yeah, he got him going. He definitely did, Coach. And you see the line play here offensively. What are you seeing here? Them taking it to the Aggies.
Well, it's unfortunate they're going right at them. They changed a little bit, Gary, from the first half to the second on some of their schemes, but defensively, A&M's not getting rid of the blocks, and they're making yardage up inside.
First and 10 at the 48. Here's Harding. And the Aggies' Michael Bennett there to make the stop that time.
Good job by Bennett reacting outside, and he's a guy that can be an impact player. He's got that kind of ability, much like his brother. They've got physical specimens there. And Coach, you take a look at this Texas A&M defense. You know, years gone by, you had the mantra of the old wrecking crew here for years and years and years. They're trying to get back to that level of play. You bring in Gabe Darnell. What are your thoughts about him as a defensive coordinator here for the Aggies?
I think he's done a great job. 2 years ago, they were worst in the country, and they certainly improved, but they still have a ways to go, especially up front, defensive linemen.
The defensive linemen are key for any football team, and those guys inside, they're so critical. They don't get heralded a lot, but they are where things start defensively. I was as a linebacker, I played behind these guys all my career, and it's very critical for them to be there. And they're doing a decent job here. The fans are getting back into it. They're used to seeing this, I'm sure.
Yeah, and this is a great help for the defense, for the fans to get back into it, and they're trying to help. That's what the 12th man is.
It's 3rd and 8 for Fresno State at midfield. 6:50 and counting to go in a tie game. Brand State of the quarterback. Plenty of time to throw. Now comes out of the pocket. Bennett rushing him, and he throws it away.
You know what? From Fresno State's perspective, Bill, I think that's a good play. It's okay. Don't make a mistake. Go ahead and punt the football down and now play field position. If you're Pat Hill, you're over there thinking, what do we need to do here? Good coverage in the secondary this time by the Aggies. You take a look at here at all the receivers. They've all got somebody manned up on them. Got 2 deep zone coverage. It's man coverage up front and zone behind. Good job by Branstad of getting the ball out of bounds, and now they'll punt it down there, hopefully get inside the 10-yard line for the Bulldogs.
Kyle Zimmerman has averaged 41 yards on his 2 punts today. Jordan Peterson is the deep man for Texas A&M. Kick is away. Fair catch by Peterson inside the 15, and there's your battle of field position. We'll pick it up when we come back with 6:43 to go. 22-22. Aggies get the ball back on their 12. The Dr. Pepper Big 12 football game of the week on FSN is brought to you by Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Dr. Pepper, there's more to it. By Sonic, it's not just good, it's Sonic good. And the First Down Marker is brought to you by Overstock.com. Save up to 70% on brand name products. Live better with Overstock.com. It's all about the O. Welcome back to Kyle Field. Bill Land, Gary Reasons, Emily Jones with you. We've also got former A&M coach Jackie Sherrill up in the booth here with us. Been honored this week in the Hall of Fame at Texas A&M. And the Aggies get the football 1st and 10 on their own 12. Here's McGee with the option. He's keeping the ball to 15, 20, 25, and McGee rolls to near the 35-yard line. Boy, does a great job of following his blockers and reading that defense, doesn't he, fellas?
And they did a nice job here of outnumbering Fresno State defensively. Fresno State cannot man up here, and Steve McGee reads it. He sees the block there, and he sees the block on the top here also. Good job there by Bennett coming out, making the big block on the outside, which allowed Steve McGee to run up underneath that block. And we saw that once happen in the first half, and now Steve McGee doing it again here. Gets the Aggies outside of the shadow of their end zone.
23 yards on the pickup. Gets them out of the shadows of the end zone, and now McGee on a 1st and 10 flips it to Goodson. Goodson is corralled near the 38-yard line. Let's now take time to check in with Michael Leeds and the Dr. Pepper game break.
All right, Bill, thanks a lot. Coming up next on College Football Saturday, Colt McCoy and the 7th-ranked Texas Longhorns hosting number 19 TCU. McCoy 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions last week against Arkansas State. Looking for a little better performance today in Austin. Back to you.
All right, thank you very much, Michael. Yeah, we look forward to that one in Austin. And who knows what type of finish we're in for here in College Station. 22 apiece, 2nd and 7 for the Aggies. And the flag is thrown.
Yeah, we haven't seen much of that today. Anybody jumping off sides. Been pretty well handled inside there. But Steve McGee, prior to going with the hard count there, gets him to jump.
Contact in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty. Replay 2nd down.
Coach Sherrill's going to ask you about Steve McGee and his throwing. You know, most of the passes that we've seen today have been sideline to sideline or within 10 to 15 yards. Nothing vertical down the field. And is he a capable quarterback to do that in your estimation?
Yes. I mean, in high school, he threw the ball very well, but he hurt his shoulder last year, and it hampered him all year and just lost confidence, I believe, in throwing the ball downfield.
You saw 2nd half numbers here. He'll keep the football, fake the handoff. popped pretty good at the 47-yard line, but he got the business done with the first down, it appears, as the Aggies maintain possession. Clock at 5:42. Stop for the moment.
You know, my estimation on quarterbacks is at some point you're going to have a quarterback win you a football game throwing the football. And Texas A&M is not really doing that. I don't think that they have the confidence, or maybe they just don't have the personnel they think to be able to accomplish that. And they're relying so much on the run game, or so much on the option game, kind of a trickery or foolery to bring Steve McGee, and using his athleticism. He's taking some shots out there today too. You know, he's going to be a sore young man tomorrow morning.
There. Thank goodness he's as tough as he is. Here he is again on a 1st and 10. He keeps it and dives across to the 47-yard line. And the Aggies now look like they're back in control again, winning that battle of the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, they did lose that early in the third quarter here. Fresno State came out firing pretty well, and you know, when you do the option game, Bill, you have some adjustments that you make also. You read the defensive tackles and the defensive ends or where they align, and you have to adjust your blocks as well. And Steve McGee here last couple of times taking it around the edge, and good job of blocking up front.
Well, Fresno State last year, when they went to 4-8, early on they went 1-7, a 7-point loss to Oregon, a 1-pointer to Washington, a 1-pointer to Utah State. Then they won 3 of 4, and they're trying to get that back. Well, they're in a tight fit here, and A&M trying to push it over the top. And they got just the man to do it there in Jovorskie Lane.
Yeah, they had a lot of that success early in the ball game, and he ran right between the tackles. They had good blocks, good holes early in the ball game, and they're getting back to it here. So this is a good drive coming out of their end zone. They started inside the 15-yard line. The Aggies did on this drive, and they've moved it out very, very well here. Running the football with Steve McGee and now Jovorskie Lane, and you want to get in front of that guy? I told you guys before, he reminded me of John Riggins, the way he ran, and he's a load.
Lane, 12 yards on that carry, 11 for 68 on the day. And it's 1st and 10 at the 34, most importantly. Here's Goodson. Goodson. He broke their tackle and stretching it down to the 25. Nearly got a first down there. We'll see where they spot it.
Now the old Thunder and Lightning package, you take Jovorskie out and you give it to your speed guy, and that's Goodson. I think Goodson might have been able to win the outside here. If he takes it back inside. If he gets to the outside, he wins, makes a touchdown. Decided to go inside and get contested yards, but almost a first down, about a yard short.
Aggies have run for 228 yards to Fresno State's 104. 2nd and 1 at the 25. McGee again on the option. He's got it to the 20. Ankle grabbed and falls down to the 17-yard line.
Now, what Fresno State is not doing is they're not running the alley. They're not running the safety who is deep. He's maintaining leverage for a deep play, and they're probably looking for a trick play, and that's why he's not running downhill to take the quarterback. Because normally when you have option defense, you'll run your safety to that side in the hole there to make the tackle, and nobody's accounting for Steve McGee, and he's going to keep that ball all day long.
There's McGee's total offensive work today. Avaloa leading the way on that play up front. Yemi, a junior from here in Bryan, Texas. It is now 1st and 10 at the 17 for Texas A&M. Jovorskie Lane to the 10, and he bowls down near the 7-yard line.
Well, the 12th man made the block that one. Nick Lamantia does a good job on the backside to help Jovorskie Lane. Jovorskie not normally a cutback runner, but he's going to run this one back, and number 12 is going to be the key blocker on the left side of the screen here. Watch number 12 walling out there, and he runs inside of it. Good job by Jovorskie finding it, and easy enough trying to get him around the legs. That's not easy to do. Here's Lamantia in that offense quite a bit today.
So, 2nd and 1 at the 8-yard line. Lane, he's got the 1, and spins forward down near the 5. So he picks up 3, and it'll be 1st and goal now for Texas A&M. You almost see this crowd. We're right next to them. They'll breathe a little bit easier. They feel that they're going to get this one done, and that clock now is winding down too, Jackie.
Now, this is a big, big series of plays. You know, take the ball off the 12-yard line and run the clock down, move it all the way down, and that's what they want. They want to run the clock out and not give Fresno the ball back.
Texas A&M that scored on their opening possession today, led 19-0 at the half, and then 22-22, and now this drive, as Coach mentioned, starting at the 12, and Lane pushing, and he is in. Touchdown, Texas A&M. Jovorskie Lane gets his 2nd score of the day.
Well, the formula for both these teams, Bill, kind of wins for them is power football. And Jovorskie Lane here and the rest of the group here for Texas A&M on this drive, they got the power back going for them. And Fresno State had come out. They had won the line of scrimmage play on both offense and defense for most of the third and fourth quarter. But here on this drive to get back in the lead, Texas A&M did what they had to do, moving the pile and moving it, particularly with Jovorskie Lane.
And it was a drive that also consumed 4 minutes and 44 seconds. We'll be back after this word from Dr. Pepper, your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Welcome back as Texas A&M has regained the lead, 29-22 with 1:52 remaining. And Jovorskie Lane capping off an all-rushing drive of 88 yards in 10 plays. He got the last 5 in his second score. And now the Aggies see if they can stop Fresno State one more time, and it starts with a kickoff.
And Jovorskie approaching 100 yards on the day, 98 with the 15 carries. So a couple of scores, and Jovorskie Lane holding up his end of the.
Wow.
What he's been asked to do today.
Zemansky boots it into the end zone, and it'll be a touchback. And how about that running game?
I tell you, it's just been tremendous. You know, you outnumber the defense here, and Stephen McGee just taking it around the edge, and all the blockers are blocking, doing what they're supposed to. And give it to the big guy. He's going to rumble inside, and Coach Sherrill, we've been talking to him about what he thinks about Jovorskie Lane. He said he's got some quick feet.
Oh, he's got the best feet I've seen for a big guy.
Big guy, he saw him in a goal line scrimmage years ago and said, hey, he doesn't need to be a nose tackle. We're going to keep him at fullback. That's a good spot for him.
So for Fresno State now, remember, 2 timeouts remaining, 1:52 to go, and they've got to go 80 yards to pay dirt. They've shown the ability to do today themselves.
And they're going to have to deal with these fans, too, because they're getting loud.
Randstater in trouble. Going to have to keep the football. Flushed out of the pocket and tackled at the 25.5-yard line. Second about 4. Dixon and Dodge making the stop for the Aggies.
Fresno obviously with a sense of urgency here, getting to the line of scrimmage very quickly.
Randstater 13 of 19, 161 yards, 1 pick, 1 TD. Finds his big tight end. Bear Pasco scored a touchdown earlier, and he rambles out of bounds, and that'll move the chains. Spotted the 34-yard line.
Both these teams, Bill, in this game in the second half, they made adjustments. Fresno State offensively trying to take control, and I think that Texas A&M, they got back to a little bit of adjustment there. They're learning a few things about the option, go back to what worked for them early in the ball game. And now it turns out to be the defense is going to have to answer here for the Aggies for them to make something happen here. Now the secondary for the Texas A&M gave up a lot of yards last week, and if they get in that play deep and don't keep everything in front of you mode, it may not prove well for them.
First and 10 at the 34. Randstater out on the flat, and it was complete. Great catch. A couple yards max, though, on the play. Might have been better off not catching that, as it turns out. Clifton Smith.
And Jordan Pugh and good tight coverage on him there, yeah.
Coming out to take care of business. Second and 8. The 36-yard line. Inside a minute remaining. Randstater. Hard hit near the 45-yard line.
Yeah, Alton Dixon, a strong safety who's a pretty explosive player. He'd come up and rattle your cage pretty well. Does a good job there knocking the ball loose. Good timing of making the strike when the ball is there. Knocks the ball away, so key third down here for Fresno. The clock is not their friend right now, Bill. They don't have a lot of time to work with. 47 seconds to go, and they need a first down desperately, and they need to make some yardage as well.
Yeah, Texas A&M getting that touchdown. There's no field goal chance here. You got to get 6, and they are 64 yards away from that. Pasco sets up now as the tight end. Randstater, they're after him again, and it is complete.
Wow.
At the 50, at the 40, at the 30, and run down inside the 25-yard line.
Tremendous effort that time by the young man running across the field. That's just great speed and great effort. Randstater getting out of the pocket, but brings it down low. It's just kind of a low little slant pass here that he makes to him, and bingo, he just runs away from everybody. Gets dinged right there, and he has to go inside. Hey, I'm going to run away from the traffic and go all the way across the field. And Great field position now for Fresno State. They can take a couple shots at the end zone.
44 yards for Wiley. At this end, Detroit is leaving us. We will update you on this one here. It is 1st and 10, ball on the 20-yard line for Fresno State. 32 seconds. Complete to the 5 and down to the 3-yard line. And the clock will stop while they move the chains. Remember, Fresno State still has 2 timeouts remaining, as again they come right back to Pasco.
Now, good job that time by the offensive line, making the pocket presence right there, able for the quarterback to step up. And look at this protection that he has right there. Good job of that. Gets it out to the big tight end. Is a good target, good sure hands. Gets inside the 5-yard line here, inside the 10. Excellent field position now for Fresno State to perhaps challenge, get a touchdown. And if they do get it, what do? Do they go for 1 or do they go for 2 to win the ball game? We're at the 3-yard line here. I thought it was just outside the 5, but the ball is being placed just outside the 3-yard line. Bear Pasco's had a nice day today. His numbers on the day are pretty impressive. 4 catches for 46 yards and the touchdown. And Brandstatter playing pretty impressive well on this drive. 4 of 5 and 77 yards, and coming out of their end zone almost to get down here to the 3-yard line.
Devin Wiley's first catch of the day set this up with that 44-yard scamper. And now Fresno State, with 25 seconds remaining, will have a 1st and goal from the 3-yard line.
And I've got Coach Sherrill here in the booth. Coach, what do you tell your Texas A&M defense in this situation?
Well, right now you're going to have to make sure that you stay at home, because you don't know what they're going to do, throw it or run it.
Just play your job.
You got to play your position and play it well.
Ajir Atutu goes wide right. Moore in the slot on the right. Crowley wide left.
Now the slant
back is Smith.
Remember, the slant passes have worked for him.
There's Pasco setting up tight end on the right.
There it is, right there.
So he may have got a handoff. Incomplete near the goal line.
He hesitated throwing the football. He was open right away on the quick slant, right over the goal line. If he'd have thrown it to Marlon Moore right as soon as he got the ball in his hands, it would have been a touchdown for Fresno State. Had your tight end coming across. He's right there. He's open. See how long he waits to get the football to him?
When he hesitated, I think Harrington got a little piece of that ball for Texas A&M.
A little bit of a finger on it, and he knows it. He knows he had it for a touchdown.
All right, 1 timeout remaining now for the Bulldogs. Remember that. 2nd and goal from the 3. 22 seconds to play. Brandstatter. Here they come. Lofts it out of the end zone. Pasco, the only man near, he's thrown it away.
Yeah, live to play another down. Downs are not necessarily the problem here. You got to get yardage, and it's the pressure's 3 yards that you're trying to get here. If you're Fresno State, put it in here and tie this ball game, or perhaps win it with a 2-point conversion. And big 3rd down here. We got personnel changes here for Fresno State coming in.
Half the Aggie fans are cheering like crazy. The other half are sweating. They're just rubbing their palms and going, tell me we can stop them. Fresno State with a 3rd and goal from the 3. Down 7.
Interesting formation here. They got number 72 out here.
Brandstatter, and he's knocked off the ball. This one's way out of play.
We'll try to trick play there to try to outmaneuver the Texas A&M defense, but nothing was going there. They did a nice job of executing there defensively, so it's a big 4th down here. It's going to be the game bill on this play. They've got to get it in the end zone.
They're going to call timeout here because
we've got Texas A&M on the near sideline calling timeout. I think Gary Darnell is down there on the field, the defensive coordinator, along with Coach Fran, trying to get his troops ready to go as well. So
you got to win the game on this play. Both teams.
Yep.
Both teams.
Well, one of 3 things is going to happen. The game's going to end with Texas A&M going to win it. We're going to get a touchdown here for Fresno State. And then the other thing is what happens on the point after try. Do we go to tie the football game and go to overtime, or would you go for 2 points? Got a little drama left here.
A lot of drama.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of things to think about. If you're Pat Hill, obviously you've got to score here.
Got to get the touchdown.
But in the back of your mind, don't you ask yourself, Coach, we've come this far, a hot, humid, exhausting day. Do you say if you score 1 more play and we go home a winner?
Well,
or do
I
you
would
say let's extend it?
Knowing Pat, they're going to extend it.
Yeah.
Because they feel like they are tough enough to hang in there.
Maybe at the line of scrimmage, if they can get it up and do it again.
Now remember, A&M still has 2 timeouts. If they see something here, they can call a timeout. Formation formation-wise if they don't like it. Fresno State is out. 10 seconds to play, and it is 4th and goal at the 3-yard line.
Watch for the inside slant routes with the crosses. That's what I think they're going to do here, simply because that's been very successful for Fresno State all day today. You got to take away the inside. He's open right now on the outside.
Friend State, here they come after it. Complete touchdown! Now, Fresno State has pulled within 1.
What do they do now?
I think he's probably made his decision. I think you're right, Coach. I think you probably want to go for 1. He's going to bring his field goal kicker out there to try to tie this football game and extend it to overtime. And I was in an overtime ball game last week with Colorado State. When you get down into these situations, you try to do what you think is best for your football team, and it's tough. Pat Hill on the road. He's got a junior quarterback here who's playing well. Good job of eluding the rush and making a good sure throw to Bear Pascal, his 2nd touchdown of the ball game. And now they're going to try to tie it up here with the point after.
Stitzer for the point after attempt. Good snap. The kick is good. And we are tied at 29-29. And that roaring din,
well, you look at the total yardage here in this football game. Texas A&M was overpowering Fresno State early in this ball game, and now it's flipped the other way. Fresno State's got 345 yards of total offense to 332 for the Aggies. So Fresno State here in the second half, beginning in the 3rd quarter, have really stepped it up. And I credit Texas A&M coming back, though, Coach, in that 4th quarter with that long drive. Took 4 minutes, put a touchdown in with Jovorskie Lane running the football. So now we start talking about, we'll talk about that here in just a minute.
That means big.
I want to talk about what you do here. You know, you start taking overtime into consideration, and now you get the ball. Each team's going to get the ball with 1 possession at the 25-yard line, and the schools have thought of what you do. How do you see Texas A&M? Well, they're going to be a free kick here as well.
Yeah, we got 5 seconds to go. We still got a kickoff here.
Yeah, he's going to squib it. He's not. I hope that he kicks it deep and lets it run back, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Now, we're assuming overtime, but in this day of college football, nothing should be assumed. The Aggies have Brown and Franks deep. There's the squib. Clock doesn't start, remember, until the ball is received. And that will end as Brown is wrapped up. That's the end of regulation. You don't want to go anywhere yet anyway, right? What a dandy. Tied at 29, overtime at Kyle Field when we come back. Welcome back, 29-29. Dennis Franchione cleaning those glasses off to make sure what he's seeing is actually what he thinks is happening as we go to overtime here at College Station, and Fresno State and Texas A&M, and 29-29. And remember the overtime rules with the coin toss, and each team getting a possession at the opponent's 25-yard line. Team retains the ball until it scores or fails to make a first down. And you have your choice, of course, of going for 1 or 2 after you score until the 3rd possession. At that point, you must go for 2.
Now, I didn't see the coin toss here, but it looks to me like that Fresno State probably won the coin toss, and they deferred, which is allowing Texas A&M to put their offense out there first. And you like to be able to get the idea of what's going to happen offensively, what you have to do. Take a look at the game summary here towards the second half. Really flipped here for Fresno State, doing a good job here in the second half to tie this ball game up.
So A&M, 1st and 10 at the 25. The option, McGee. Well, if you're A&M, and I know fans grumble a little bit, hey, they need to throw it. Well, Fresno State couldn't stop this 10 minutes ago. Is there any reason to believe they're going to stop it now?
Well, there's a mismatch of 2 tight ends, as Gary sees.
You got your tight end, Joey Thomas, doing a good job there, just walling onto the inside, and he's taking away the guy who's supposed to run to the lane. And then the safety has to come as the second replacement there, and he hasn't done that all day. And that safety's now at the 10-yard line. He's going to come up very close to the line of scrimmage, and they've got to be more involved in stopping that option play and the speed of Stephen McGee.
12-yard pickup, 1st and 10 at the 13. Jovorskie Lane, and they swarm to him.
I credit Texas A&M. They made some adjustments, and they got back to their core bread and butter, which is option football. When we talked to Pat Hill and his staff, they said the thing we have to do is be option sound. We've got to be assigned sound. And they've hit and missed a little bit today. They haven't done a great job all the time. And that's what the option game does for you. It gives you a chance to really exploit teams offensively. And if they have a little bit of a weakness defensively, and they don't one guy just misses a little gap or an assignment, boy, it can be a huge play for your offense.
2nd down and 9. The ball at the 12. Overtime. If you've just joined us, 29 apiece. Texas A&M and Fresno State. McGee, the pitch to Goodson. Goodson wrapped up hard at the 10. They're going to mark it near the 9-yard line.
Number 3, Moses Harris for Fresno State. He has done a great job today running all over the field. I don't know a lot about this young man, but I'll tell you he's a football player because he shows up around the football, and that's what coaches like to see. A guy who, whatever he has to do, he does to make a play. And Harris, number 3 there, you see finishing the tackle on Goodson out of bounds. He's had a nice ball game.
So 3rd down and 7. And a timeout, Texas A&M. Don't forget, coming up, talk about another great matchup, TCU and Texas in Austin. And TCU feeling that if they're ever going to win in Austin against the Longhorns, that this is the year. Am I right, Coach?
I tell you what, the pressure is on Texas. Texas has to win the game. And, you know, when you look at it, you know, Mac is saying we've got to run the ball. We got to get back to running the ball because, you know, right now we can't run the ball.
They lost 3 or 4 of their offensive linemen, you know, and took a draft. They had some good ones, and they had to got to replace them and get them in sync with what they're doing offensively.
TCU coming off a convincing thumping of Baylor last week. Texas looking very vulnerable against Arkansas State. And then, you know, if TCU needs any more motivation, they sit down here and see Fresno, who they used to be in the same league with, and going, hey, they're about to at least have a shot at winning it in Aggie land. Why not us in the land of the Longhorn?
Gary Patterson up there, who's the head coach for TCU, worked for Dennis Franchione when Dennis was there and took over the program when Dennis went to Alabama. So it's been in good hands, I think, the program at TCU. It's going to be a very good ball game, we think, this afternoon in Austin.
Let's settle this one first. 3rd and 7 for Texas A&M. Critical play for McGee. Got time now. Puts it and incomplete. So pick up the 3.
You better put the field goal on the board. You definitely do that, and then you get your defense to go out there and do that. And try to do a little deception play here. They try to get the tailback to run. Watch this route that he tries to run all the way to the back corner of the end zone, but he's well covered by the secondary there, and nothing happened in allowing the quarterback to throw that out there. So Steve McGee does a smart thing, throws it to the back of the end zone, and now squarely on the kick of your field goal kicker.
Here's Zemansky, hit a 43-yarder earlier, and this one from 27 is good. So
now Pat Hill's bunch knows what they have to do. They've got to match the thing with an opportunity for a field goal, and they know they can probably do that even if they don't do anything else. Line up at the 25-yard line. So their focus now is to get a touchdown. How do you do that? How do you get that in there from the 25-yard line? That's the chess match now that Coach McElwain's going to have to go through with the offense here, and Tom Bradstad has done a great job, I think, in the second half playing the game. And little rainbow there, Coach. You can get a little pot of gold at the end if you get this win.
Hey, it is a big pot because A&M's got to win this game when we're talking about winning the championship or going down the road and becoming in the BCS games.
Texas A&M has University of Louisiana Monroe next, and then they go to Miami, who was manhandled pretty good by Oklahoma today, but no fun time going down to play the U. Here's Fresno needing 3 to tie, a TD to win the game in overtime. Cranston on a 1st and 10. Wow. Got a man, it's Moore. He is bumped hard. Touchdown. Did he get in?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
I believe he did.
Touchdown or no? They say he stepped out. It's the 1-yard line.
This may be reviewed because his right foot was just inside the 1-yard line. His left hand, the ball just has to cross the plane of the end zone. We'll take a look at this. I don't know if we've got a handheld camera down there at the goal line, but great job of play action. They haven't done it all day. Good job of doing this. Watch his left arm putting the ball out. Does he step out of bounds?
Oh, lost the football.
Oh, he fumbles. This reviewed. He doesn't have control of the football. This could go to Texas A&M, but they could win the ball game. If they called him out, that's a judgment play. Wow, we need to see this again. I think it's going to be reviewed. This could be a huge play for Texas A&M if it goes the way it looks like to me initially. The ball is dropped on the field of play by the player. He steps out of bounds, so forget about him. You remember where the ball is, because that's what we're talking about. The ball is fumbled forward into the end zone, and Texas A&M picks the football up, I think. We'll have to take a look at the end of the play here, who actually recovers the ball if it goes out of bounds. We'll take a look at it here.
This is ruled a fumble?
Yeah, Marlon Moore, he's not out there. There's a fumble.
Is that a touchback and the game over?
Game's over. That game's over, guys. Texas A&M will probably win the game on that call. He leaves the ball in the field of play. He goes out of bounds, so he's not part of the football anymore. Probably the ball game's going to end.
That's a big play for A&M, but for the young man, that's a hard way to go home.
You don't want to see any game decided that way.
Marlon Moore just trying to make a play for his football team, thinking he's going to be able to cross the end zone with his hand. I thought he had the ball in his hand when he crossed the goal line, but he obviously did not. I don't think it crossed the plane of the goal line while he still retained possession, Coach. And I'm sure that's what they're looking at. Where did he lose control of the football, and what happens in that situation when you fumble into the end zone? There's some unique rules here too in the NCAA in regards to.
No, he's still got it in the right hand.
It's a fumble. It's a fumble. He's below. He's in the field of play and just fumbles it in the field. And
well, that replay official's got a big call here.
Oh my!
And I think there's going to be a bunch of maroon shirts in this building that are going to erupt with joy when they hear the end of this one.
They're going to sweat their foreheads.
There's a lot of sweating going on.
And
they're going to wipe
if it doesn't go that way, it's almost a certainty that, A&M's going to have to make the goal line stand of their lives in order to avoid a loss.
Now, there are some rules in regards to a ball fumbled into the end zone that have some specific rulings that, as far as change of possession, those officials are going to have to sort those out too, because that's a clear change of possession opportunity. But going into the end zone, there's some unique rules that they have to deal with.
He was in the field of play, and he fumbled it, and the ball went into the end zone, so A&M recovered it. It's A&M's ball. So
I don't think this is a way that anybody would like to really have a ball game in, but regardless, it's an interesting ball game. Both these teams have played their hearts out on the field and back and forth. Early in the ball game, Texas A&M really was more dominant.
Here we go.
Is called on the field.
The play stands is called on the field. His microphone broke up. Is that what he just said?
Wow.
As a result, he was ruled out of bounds
at the 1 yard line.
At the 1 yard line, and Fresno State will have it first and goal to go.
If they get a touchdown, they win this ball game, and they've got a first down here to do that. So, hey, they're going to put put this ball in the hands of their best running back, keep it low, put two hands around it, get a touchdown. They're going to ask their offensive line to open some holes, which they've been able to do against this Aggie defense.
It's at the half-yard line.
And they have 4 downs to do it.
All right, Fresno State, a chance to knock off the Texas A&M Aggies, who come in ranked number 23 in the country, led it 19-0 at the half, seemed to be in control, even though they were playing far from perfect. And then the second half, the Bulldogs came roaring back.
Well, we have a handheld camera operator who was actually down because of heat exhaustion, and he was not able to be on the field, and so we lost a camera angle. And so what we were told by the officials was they did not have sufficient video review to be able to overturn or make a different call than what was called on the field. So that's what they were telling us in the production truck. Wow, it just looks a little bit different than that from what my perspective and what we're seeing from our replays. And they just need to have clear-cut evidence as an officiating group. Now, remember, this is a WAC officiating group.
Right.
Yeah, but the replay officials are the Big 12.
And
they're WACs. Wow.
The other thing you need to remember here is just what you said, Gary. You have to have enough evidence to overturn the call. What was the call? The call was he was ruled out of bounds, and not that it was a fumble.
Yeah, the line,
now they're checking again.
And the line judge who is there was actually backing up. They're trying to get out of the contact from the running back getting out of bounds, or the receiver out of bounds. And remember, Marlon Moore comes across and catches that play-action pass from Brandstatter down there around the 5-yard line and trying to turn it up and turn it into the end zone.
This isn't like golf where somebody at home saw something and called in, is it? And they're having another review.
Well, you can't do it. If you make that decision's made, Gary, isn't that right?
Well, you know what the rule is with instant replay, and the intent of it is to get the correct call. Whatever process that has to take, however long it has to take, my opinion of the rule is that you utilize the tool if you have it. Do we have clear-cut evidence that the young man is out of bounds at the 1, or the ball was fumbled into the field of play? So we're trying to get a clear ruling here from the officials, and you know, our truck is in communication there. We're feeding stuff to the officiating booth for replays, but we're not getting any word from the officials right now in regards to that, because they're still sorting things out. And you know what, in this kind of a thing, Coach, and you know it real well, is that livelihoods are on the line here for coaching staffs, players, these kinds of things, wins, losses, opportunities. And it comes down to something like this. Boy, that's hard to handle sometimes.
It's hard to handle when you know you got to have one person that's not on the field to make that decision. You know, the officials on the field are not making that decision. Somebody in the booth that's watching an angle off of a TV angle makes that decision.
Well, and we're having, obviously you can understand that with these officials huddled and with the replay officials, they're trying to relay what information they have to us. Let's listen.
Has been reversed. The runner lost the ball prior to going over the goal line. It was a loose ball. However, there was a personal foul for roughing the passer on the play. We will go back to the previous spot, assess half the distance, and replay first down.
Boy, I did not see a penalty flag.
We had no indication from replay officials that that was even a factor. So what a turn of events here now.
I wonder if somehow, some way, the replays evidence roughing the passer, which was not enforced. I'm not sure that's the intent of the rule, and I'm not sure that can actually be done via rule. Coach Fran is trying to get a clarification that if a flag is not dropped on a play for an infraction, let's take a look. Here's Brandstatter going to throw the football down there to Marlon Moore. There's the hit there. Knocking down.
There's the flag. You'll see the flag.
Is the flag in the corner down here? It sure enough is. There's a flag on the play. Good job by the officials, but boy, I tell you, I didn't see it. We're all watching the play inside the 5-yard line
to come into this whole scenario.
And we've got some more drama down there with Coach Fran getting a ruling from the referee and one of the other officials.
We're taking it to the appellate court now, as Dennis Franchione is fighting for his club, because although this is a much better situation for A&M than what they thought they were going to get, first and goal at the half, they're still in dire straits.
Well, with the first ruling that they had, that we heard, that the play was going to be upheld because it went out of bounds. Surely that's going to be the spot that you're going to have the football, because you're not going to enforce the penalty.
Right.
You're going to be at the half-yard line. But if obviously the ball were to be turned over on the fumble, the penalty is going to be enforced. It's just like throwing an interception and you rough the quarterback. You're going to get the ball back regardless. Now, where do they spot the football? Looks like they're going to give them first and goal around the 12-yard line.
Half the distance.
And now Pat Hill is coming over because Dennis Franchione is huddled with the officials. And he is vehemently upset. And
now, I think he's wanting to find out, how did that thing get turned over after you've already announced that it was upheld? And we're not getting information from the replay booth into our production truck, but they're still sorting things out. The referee is give us some kind of indication here.
Pat Hill must have gotten what he wanted, because otherwise I think he'd have really blown his top. Let's find out, though. I'm tired of guessing.
Well, who benefits more here, Coach? The teams that are resting, the defense or the offense? I don't know.
If you still got the ball,
you benefit.
If you still have the ball, it benefits you.
If you haven't been around, folks, we're in overtime. It's 32-29. First possession for Fresno State after A&M hit on a field goal, and a monstrous delay on the replay. And apparently,
the first ruling will stand. It will be first down, half the distance.
Now remember, Texas A&M converted a field goal on their opportunity for in overtime, so at minimum, Fresno State would like to tie the ball game with a field goal, but obviously they'd like to get a touchdown to win the ball game.
1st and 10 at the 12 for the Bulldogs. Harding.
And squeaks out a couple.
A couple.
You know, they've had success running inside, Coach, against these two defensive tackles and the linebackers in there, and they're asking their offensive linemen now to continue to do that here. That was a tough yard and a half that they got on that play, so 2nd down, and remember here, we're in the land of the 12th man.
Yeah, but you're behind the change, Gary. Now you got to probably throw it.
2nd and 9 at the 11. Fresno State down 3 in overtime. Harding, a couple more.
You know, I really like the play-action pass they did on the previous play when they threw it down there. That was the first true play-action pass they've run the entire game. They've run consistently, and now they've only run really one true play-action pass in the game that I can recall.
Should we keep an eye on Bear Pasco, who's got 2 TDs?
I tell you, he's a guy, he's a target to throw to. Number 85 for Fresno State. He's a big target. Is he out there? He sure is. He's on the right side, the top side of the screen. There's Bear Pasco sitting right there. So he's the guy that's got a couple of touchdowns already in his ballgame. He's on the
action. Brandstater, the quarterback, in trouble. Slides forward.
I think it's a smart play by Brandstater, not making a problem. Yeah, he's hit hard there on the ground. Look at his helmet.
He is stunned.
And now they trot their field goal unit on the field, and Brandstater gets up, walks to the sideline, and now they're trying to force this go into a 2nd overtime period with a field goal attempt.
So they try to tie it up here.
But Sticks are going to kick perhaps the tying field goal.
Stitzer with the extra point with 5 seconds to go to tie it to the end of regulation. 25-yard field goal. Stitzer's kick is good. Everybody takes a sigh of relief, checks their blood pressure, and says, okay, we'll try one more possession here.
Well, a little bit of breathing room here, and folks are sitting down just a little bit, and interesting turn of events here in this overtime period.
Our what a play, controversial play will be the play that stopped action here.
Watch the play action fake. It was fantastic, and it worked for him because Marlon Moore comes across the field here, gets his play, and at the end, there's a whole lot going on that really didn't benefit Texas A&M on that because there was a penalty against the quarterback, on roughing the quarterback penalty that was called, and they got the benefit of that, so they did not turn the ball over. Actually, it was ruled that it would have been a turnover,
right?
But the penalty was enforced on roughing the quarterback. So now we're going to flip to the other end of the field and try to do this all again at the other end. And Coach Fran and Pat Hill taking their notes and looking at things and seeing what we're going to do here in the 2nd overtime period.
I'll tell you what, overtimes are always grueling and painful for the loser. But I'm telling you, after this one, the loser will just really feel whoever goes away on the short side here. Hey, don't worry, more coming up. TCU, Texas. What fun in Austin tonight. Number 19 and number 7. There's all kinds of BC implications, that baby too. That's coming up right after this on FSN.
Well, and now Fresno State has the ball first. Texas A&M on defense. So if A&M could muster a field goal, at least a field goal opportunity, and perhaps 3 points on the board, they'd have a chance to win it with a touchdown when they get on offense. So you think that the defense usually has the upper hand in the overtime period just from what you need to do offensively when you get the ball.
2nd overtime. Harding.
Great play.
Smothered him.
Chris Harrington has been a great defensive end for Texas A&M over his life of his career, and the guy that gets around the football, he doesn't give a lot of credit here. He's at the top of the screen, and watch him just move laterally to the sideline. And big guy who's 6'5", and I remember meeting this young man when he was just coming to Texas A&M and making a decision to come here. He's actually the son of Dave Elmendorf, former Texas A&M great, and got a long history of Texas A&M football in that family.
Yeah, Elmendorf is his uncle. His grandfather played here. There's a whole string of family ties to that. 2nd and 13 now for Fresno State. Trips to the left. Brandstater. Complete, and again the place goes quiet as they come back to Pasco.
It looks like he's right at or almost a 1st down there at the 15-yard line. Looks like it's a couple inches short of that yard line.
He's made some huge grabs.
I'll tell you, Pasco's a target now. We talked about him being one of the best tight ends in the WAC conference, and that's a generous spot. That's a real generous spot. He's actually down at the 14-yard line when he's made contact. The ball is that.
3rd and 1. And a short one, obviously. Let's see where that ball's placed.
Unique inside there. Double MAC linebacker position. That's unique.
Harrington got the first down. Rather, Harding got the first down as he is down near the 12-yard line.
It's really surprising they'd have that kind of formation defensively, coach. They're outside in 3 techniques, both of them on the outside shoulders of the guard. Looking at both linebackers stacking there. That's almost a gimme.
Yeah, they're trying to get their secondary down, Gary, and field that backside cut.
Second overtime, Bill and Gary Reasons. We got Jackie Sherrill with us in the booth. Emily Jones on the sideline. 32 apiece. And a 1st and 10 now. And again on the ground. And Harding not much doing there near the 10-yard line.
A physical ball game here, Bill. This has turned into one of those games that's been won at the line of scrimmage, and every time either one of these two teams has done anything, they've really dominated the line of scrimmage on that particular series. And right now, Fresno State's trying to get some tough yardage against this A&M defense, and the Aggie players are wanting the 12th man to really step up here for them.
2nd and 8. Ball on the 10. Harding pushing forward, and very close to the first down. We'll see where they spot this football. What an effort by Anthony Harding, the sophomore from Turlock, California.
You're seeing some tough play here from these running backs and this offensive line from Fresno State. Hey, they're not going to be denied. Look at the push. Look at the push that they're doing there, and they can just continue to keep going north and south, churning those legs. That's what you want. You want a good body lean. Watch the young man running here. Got a body lean. His legs are going. He's protecting the football as best he can with the one arm, and they do get 1st and goal here inside the 2-yard line.
At the 2, we set it down. And again, they keep it to Harding. There's a belief there that, hey, we're just going to power it in. Boy, these two teams have just got to be exhausted.
Now, they've gone at it in the 95-degree heat out there. It's, potential record temperatures down on the field. We're hearing 140 degrees temperature-wise on the field with the sun. Got a little shade here because the sun has moved behind the stadium here on this side of the field, but it's still hot down there. Those guys are really tired, I'm sure.
2nd and goal from the 1. 2nd overtime, and still spinning, trying to get through. No signal from the official. Going to be a little short, I believe.
Wow.
For a Harding.
That looked to me like he was on top of bodies and spun over, and they didn't give him the spot. Take a look here as he runs inside and just trying to push. He's not down, and he spins over. Where's the football, though? We'll take a look on the sideline here and see what kind of angle we have. Good spot by the official.
Yeah.
And probably needs to be right by the goal line, which is where it's at.
3rd and less than a foot. Fresno State trying to take the lead. They do. Touchdown, Anthony Harding. And it's 38-32. Now the all-important PAT.
Well, they've worked Harding here on this drive and does a good job. Credit the left tackle and the tight end on the left side. They're giving him enough area to run the football.
And the point after coming up here for Stitzer.
We have a timeout called or a player down. We've got an A&M player down in the end zone, so you got the trainers going out there to take care of him.
Mark Dodge.
Yeah, a lot of plays being played in this football game.
Look at Dodge and the effort he has given. This senior from Yerington, Nevada, and part of the Geritol gang. He's 26. His middle linebacker partner, Misi Tupe, 25. Of course, Dodge, a hero in the truest sense. He was at the Pentagon on 9/11 in his 4 years in the service, and he's come back from Junior college, started 5 games last year, was an honorable mention all-conference pick, and he had 14 tackles in the opening game, 15 today as he has helped off. And you hope cramps, because that's the big thing today more than anything else. You just hope it's nothing more serious.
Well, he just maybe wore out. These two teams today, Bill, have combined for 147 plays in this football game.
Without the kicking game.
Without the kicking game, exactly.
Now, they'll do the point after. Stitzer. Kick is good. The Aggies know what they need now.
And that's
a touchdown to extend the game.
A lot of head scratching going on here in the stands with these Aggie fans. And they know they've got to answer now. They've got to get a touchdown with Stephen McGee, Jovorskie Lane, and Goodson out there as well offensively. They got to figure out a way to go get 25 yards and put it in the end zone to extend this to perhaps a third overtime.
39-32 Fresno State in the second overtime.
You know, Coach, we thought you were going to come up here for a couple of minutes in the third and fourth quarter to have a little visit with us. We're glad you're here. We're glad you had a chance to experience this with us. It's a lot of fun, these overtime games.
I'm impressed. I'm impressed with the way you guys handle it and how you work together. And man.
Here we go. 1st and 10, and McGee pitches to Goodson. Goodson delivered some punishment before he was out of bounds. Bell there on the play. Lauren Bell, redshirt freshman from Simi Valley, California.
You see the precision there with Stephen McGee and how he runs. Now you got a safety in the alley running there, taking care of the quarterback, and makes him pitch the football.
Goodson 65 yards carrying today. Lane 99 and McGee 14 for 104 to pace the Aggies. But it means nothing if they don't get a TD here. 2nd and 6. And again, Goodson tried to split him.
Great job by the linebacker coming through there, number 54 for Fresno State. Yeah,
there's Jacobs there.
He ricocheted. What you mean by that is you go from one to the other. You go to the quarterback and you bounce yourself outside to the tailback on the pitch and makes the play. Very athletic play by the linebacker.
A&M and a 3rd and 5. Martellus Bennett in the picture here possibly, or Thomas, those 2 tight ends.
Well, they're in the ball game, both of them. You got the bookends in there. They've been asked to block a lot, and they haven't done a whole lot of play action pass game here either for Texas A&M.
Of course, they know it's 4 down territory. You got to have a touchdown, so they got 2 stops here. And McGee at the 10 and pulling forward. That'll move the chains, and it'll be 1st and goal from the 8-yard line for Texas A&M.
You know, you have to have something that you rely on. The field is your core, is your base, is what you've got to do. And that's kind of what Texas A&M says. Hey, we're an option football team running this spread option here with the quarterback and the shotgun. We're going to keep doing it. We're going to perfect it. And defense may win sometimes, but by and large, we're going to win more times than that. And they've done that today with Stephen McGee on the edge.
1st and goal from the 8 for Texas A&M. Down 7 in this second overtime. Lane is the tailback this time. And Tia ahead of him. Lane. And let him head on this time. And Lane still got a yard or 2.
Kind of unselfish coming up there, giving up your body in the hole. And a big one, Lonnie Bell, the safety comes up and takes on Jovorskie Lane. Watch number 20 come into the picture and step up here and decide to get into the mix. Whoa!
Puts Lane over the century mark. He's now 17 carries for 101.
Got to restrap that helmet, I think, after that one, Coach.
Yes. I mean, he threw his body in there.
Texas and TCU underway. No score late 1st. We'll take you there when this one's over. 2nd and goal from the 6. And Lane. They'll wrap him up, but who's got to field it? As he fumbles it, you give that guy the ball 3 or 4 times from 7, 8 yards out, he's probably, not probably, he's going to get in the end zone.
You got the direct snap to Jovorskie Lane here. You take Stephen McGee, take him out of the picture there, and the Bulldogs didn't necessarily adjust very well. You got to realize that he's going to come right downhill on you.
Why waste the hand?
Ben Jacobs, the linebacker, steps up in the hole and just kind of grabs an ankle to slow down Jovorskie. But the Aggies 3rd down here, 3rd and 2 here, 3rd and goal actually. So we need to put this in the end zone to match what Fresno State did. Somebody's calling a timeout. We got to play her down against Fresno State.
Yeah, Tyler Clutch, their star defensive end, a senior from Clovis, California. Looks like he is cramped.
Doesn't surprise me there's cramps in this ball game. The heat and the fluids going out of these guys. By and large, I think they've held up pretty well, though.
Yeah, I'm amazed, Gary, at how long they've held up. You don't see, this is the first one you've seen cramp up like this.
And this is what some coaches would say the negative of overtime. Fans love it. I think everybody in general loves getting a result. But you get to this stage on a day like this, and you do become concerned, don't you?
Yes, and not only concerned is you play for 60 minutes, and all of a sudden somebody misses a play in overtime. Then, I mean, you live with that forever.
Yeah.
And Tyler's getting up there, which is good. And both these teams, they practice in the heat. They know the heat. There's no doubt about it. Fresno State, they've got heat out there, and here in College Station, it's balmy and hot a lot here in the summer. So both these teams conditioned for it. They're well hydrated. We asked both teams prior to the ball game whether they think they'd have hydration problems, and both of them said no. So they plan for it, they prepare for it. The athletes know what to do as far as consuming fluids prior to the ball game, several days prior to the ball game.
Lane and Goodson back with McGee this time. Lane. I'll tell you the score. He's in for the touchdown. His third of the day.
Well, what does Coach Fran do? Does he run his place kicker out there, or does he decide to go for two?
Yeah, and remember, in the next overtime, you must go for two.
Jovorskie pushed the pile lane. I tell you, got a great body lane, good quick feed, and just powers through there.
Charge timeout. This will be 30 seconds.
Now, remember, they blocked a field goal early in this ball game. They blocked the kick last week against Sacramento State, so they've got 2 blocks on a field goal attempt. And this is a PAT attempt, a very similar situation. So Pat Hill's got a history of blocked kicks, and maybe they're thinking they can gear up for one here.
Using that timeout, so might as well at least talk about it and give it a shot. What do you got to lose? So
maybe you're going to bring your big tight end, Bear Pasco, in there and put him in the middle of that line again and get him to block one area as he's in there. And that's going to be the group possibly that'll be out there on the line of scrimmage and get a hand up, maybe get a low kick. Dennis Franchione, he wants to go straight through the uprights and get his kicker to kick it up nice and high and make sure it sails through there.
This game, a couple of hours ago, we'd have thought, no way this is going to be an overtime game, as Texas A&M led 19-0 at the half. And then Pasco had a 60-yard TD reception. The Aggies came back with a field goal, and then Matthews a 10-yard run for Fresno, Harding a 2-yard run, and the excitement was on. Lane scored, and then Pasco scored, and we win in overtime, tied at 29. The kick is good. So we're tied again now at 39, and the third overtime is coming up on FSN from College Station. Take a look at that upper deck, folks, as the crowd moves all to this end now. Obviously, with the hot weather today, we don't have that 75,000 still intact. So there's a little room to move. So those Aggie fans moving down. Let's go down the other end as they switch ends and we get ready to start the third overtime. Bill and Gary Reasons, Emily Jones with you on FSN. 39 apiece, and A&M will have the ball first.
Now, A&M's written tradition, so I think we just started a new tradition here that you move to the end zone where you do the overtime.
Hey, Gary, if you do it twice, it's no longer a tradition. You do it all the time.
Glad to have Jackie Sherrill with us, who's been honored by going to the Hall of Fame at Texas A&M, part of our FSN football crew. And up here at the booth to join this one. Wow, what a game. First and 10 at the 25 to start the third overtime for Texas A&M. Corey set wide left. Goodson coming to the right. Good pursuit to the football that time by Fresno State, staying all over it.
You know, that's a play that every football team has. That's just the ISO, get your fullback in there, let him block, and let the tailback read off of it. O.J. Simpson made that play famous back when he was in college and in the NFL, just a read play. And Goodson, he's got the kind of ability from the deep eye position, that he could take it all the way around the corner and get a play out of this, and he uses it very well.
He's second down and 8 at the 23-yard line. Third OT here at Kyle Field. And timeout is called. officials' timeout. They're not going to review that play again from an hour ago, are they?
No, they're asking for some water.
Yeah, I think the officials need a little drink
Yes.
out there. They got to hydrate.
You know
what? That's good.
Yes, it is.
They need to make sure that those guys are there.
It looks like the umpire is one that's getting.
Those guys have been out there in the heat just like these guys.
They don't have any downs off.
No.
They don't come off when the defense does. And what a concern there. We certainly hope they're all right.
154 plays in this game, not including the kicks already. So a lot going on in this field today.
So 2nd and 8 now. Just a scrum. So 3rd down and 7 coming up for Texas A&M. It's a little different situation, as we said before. When you have the ball second and you know what you need and you're down a touchdown, you say, all right, we got 2 downs to get 7. Well, here you have to say, wait a minute, do we have 1?
Well, I think that this situation, 3rd and long, it actually favors Fresno State. They've done a good job in the secondary of covering these receivers when they've had to closer. So I'm assuming that Stephen McGee is going to have to pass the football here.
I don't know. They may call the option, Gary.
3rd and 7. McGee got a hole, and McGee has the 1st down as he got across the 15 to the 14-yard line.
Coach, I think that's an excellent call because their passing game has not really been up to par. Fresno has snuffed that out in much of the ball game. Go with what's worked for you, and that is the option. They give you the spread look. They got the 2 backs in the backfield. They cross and they do the dive to Jovorskie, and they got Goodson backside. Assignment's not there, and you take a look at Steve McGee. He sees a lane inside there, and you got one guy just biting on him. Good block on the outside by Bennett there as well.
Yeah. So the Aggies, 1st and 10 at the 14. Tied in the 3rd overtime. A&M first possession, and then Fresno State and Jovorskie Lane. Ball came loose a little bit, and they're trying to unpile it. Aggies have indicated they've got it. Still fighting.
We'll see here as Jovorskie goes into the pile and keeps pushing like he does, and helmets flying around, and they're trying to pull the ball out. The ball's out. I saw it bounce on the ground, but it didn't look like that.
6-yard gain
but it's going to be just 2nd down here for Texas A&M. Yeah, the ball's out, definitely. Probably just falls right on top of it, though.
So 2nd and 4. 6 yards as Jovorskie Lane fell on it. Lane 20 carries, 113 yards. McGee 16 and 124. 2nd down. Lane back there with McGee again in the shadows and just keeps pushing.
Almost to the 1st down marker. They've got about a yard short of that, so it's going to be a 3rd and 1 here again for Texas A&M running the football. I'd be surprised if they do anything but run the football.
Well, if it's 3rd and 1, you know they're going to give the ball to Lane again.
Got pretty good numbers there, doesn't he, Bill, on 3rd and short?
Yeah, we were taking earlier, was it 26 of 29 last year on either 1st downs or touchdowns when
he's had a couple
3rd or 4th and 1s, and 3 TDs already today, and it's 3rd and 1 at the 5-yard line. See Corey wide to the right. And again, Lane and Goodson flanking McGee. Lane nearly fumbled it. He hangs on now and pushes, and he's got the 1st down. These teams are just flat. They've had it. It's almost like a delay in just trying to get moving, isn't it?
Yeah. Damon Jenkins came running through there. They've had a couple of pressures from both sides, allowing those guys to run through and try to make a hit on Lane, and he's not going to be denied. You hit him high, and he's just going to keep chugging. You need to game tackle him, get somebody high, and more importantly, get somebody low around his legs. He's a powerful, powerful running back.
So it makes it 1st and goal from the 3-yard line. Texas A&M trying to get the 6, and Lane says, let's quit fooling around. 4th touchdown of the now evening, and going for 2, obviously, because we're in the 3rd overtime.
3rd overtime teams offensively have to go for a two-point try, so Texas A&M's offense certainly going to stay on the field and Coach, you work in these situations. What's your best two-point play? You draw them up with it. We've probably seen them all already, but Jovorskie Lane powerful getting that into the end zone.
Well, you're going to run the option. I mean, that's what they have done and done the best today. And so you're going to keep the ball in Stevens' hands and try to run the option and try to outman them on the corner.
Is 3 yards too long to give it to Jovorskie Lane up the middle?
Yes. I mean, that means well, not really. I mean, I would say that today you could give it to him.
But potentially your last play.
Yeah, but he's very exhausted right now, as you see. But I think that they're going to run the option with Steven handling the ball.
So you got to have good edge play defensively if you're thinking that way. If you're Pat Hill with your football team, you got to get your guys on the outside, assignment conscious, and be ready to step up and make a play. And I would think you'd try to probably attack. You'd probably attack from the edges and try to get some penetration, make a play in the backfield, and force Texas A&M to do something a little bit different than what they've been doing on the option.
Coach Fran talking there to his quarterback, Stephen McGee, who you just cannot get A&M folks, anybody that knows Stephen McGee, to say enough good things about him. That just absolute dream to coach. Not only great player, better person, and that's where all these traits, I think you do what you're saying, Coach Gerald. You trust him that, hey, I'm going to trust him to make the right decision here.
He's what you call a coach's player.
So, going for two with it 45-39. All at the 3-yard line. Lane strolls in for the two-pointer.
Well, the option play it was, Coach, and he read it inside, and they vacated and give it to the big guy. There's no big guy to stop him when he's got enough steam like that running through there. And they need to game tackle Jovorskie Lane. Stephen McGee smartly gives it to the big guy, and you see the cross blocking up front. They're doing a nice job matching up on the two techniques inside, and they're trying to cross it on the Bulldog side. Not really effective for him, and A&M picked it up very well for Jovorskie to run through it.
You know, the offensive linemen, Gary, are the ones that really need to get the credit too, because they're controlling the line of scrimmage.
47-39, third overtime. Fresno State knows now they must score and get the two-point conversion to extend it to a fourth overtime. Anything less, the Aggies are a winner. First and 10 at the 25. Cranstater scrambling for his life. Dives down near the 20. Picks up about 5.
Well, that's the second time we've seen full flow play action pass. And what that means is downhill with the fullback and the tailback. And it worked for him before with Marlon Moore coming across. Second time we've seen it now. That's effective, I think, for Fresno because they have been running the ball successfully and they've shown that they can do that.
Second and 5. At the 20. Azra Tutu goes wide left. Crowley to the right, and they're keeping it on the ground as well. And here is Anthony Harding.
And Harding's been the workhorse late in the fourth quarter here in overtime, getting the ball in the backfield as a tailback and putting it in his hands for precious yardage that he's getting inside. So it's third down, and it's up 2.5, almost 3 yards. And obviously this is 2-down territory. You got to think with that mindset, just keep handing the ball off or doing what you've been doing.
And another injury timeout as a Fresno State player is down. It's Cole Popovich. The overtime situation, well, we had Szymanski with a 27-yard field goal. And then Stitzer, we have the controversy here where Moore was ruled for the roughing the passer. They put the ball back at the 12. They could not get it in from there for the touchdown after a lengthy delay. And Harding then scored in the next overtime to make it 39-32. Lane, a 1-yard run to make it 39. And then Lane again for the touchdown and the 2-point conversion in this third overtime. Thus, here we sit. 163rd offensive play of the game coming up. With, again, we're talking, it's not the kicking game.
All these kids are they're without a gas, Coach. I think they're just run. Their tank is empty.
You know, and the sad thing about this is they got to play next week, and this week between this game and next week, they're expended. I mean,
Fresno State's got to go to Oregon.
Both teams are going to be in the same situation.
Yeah. 3rd down and 3. Harding. And Harding will move the chains.
And get the first down, as you said, Bill. So life still continues for Fresno State.
It's like, well, yeah, I'm tired, but I ain't ready to quit yet. Look at those linemen. So, 1st and 10. And the ball marked at the 14-yard line. Harding stays on behind the quarterback, Brandstater. And he picks up a couple.
Bear Pasco kind of missed the block there. He's got to get his shoe on. And have to change out. Harding in the back, out of the backfield now.
The yardage today is just about dead even too. 387 yards for Texas A&M, 374 for Fresno, and if they score here, you know, it'll even it up pretty much. Still no score going to the 2nd in Austin. You're going there next following the conclusion here. 2nd and 9 on the 13. Crowley, reception good at the 9-yard line. So another 3rd down coming up now here in this 3rd overtime for Fresno State.
Pressure that's the outside here. There's going to be pressure coming here, and he's going to get it up over him.
Bulldogs needing a TD and a 2-point conversion to get it to a 4th overtime. That zone, the fans are exhausted, and they're trying to keep their stamina here. They're hoping for just 2 more plays. 3rd and 5 at the 9. Brandstater. Oh my, it's caught in the end zone by Pasco. What a grab from that tight end, Bear Pasco.
Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. I tell you, Bear Pasco has done it today for his quarterback. Gives him an option to throw to. I think he's going to throw it out of the end zone, Coach, but no, he comes down to Pasco right there. Good job of getting away from Pugh, the linebacker, and enough space there for him to throw. Goes up high. Man, wow, that was high.
And now they need to.
And the contact, I'm telling you, great camera work, guys. Good look at that touchdown. Now we got to go for 2 here for Fresno State to tie this ball game. And
look at that.
Remember on the previous drive, Brandstater was knocked out of the game. After that, they had to try that field goal, and he had his head down, a little sore, a little tired, still having to go back out there. And he's got to have one more play and at least tie this thing back up to force it to a, what are we going, Bill? I'm going to get losing count here. 4?
4's next. Follows 3. It is hard to keep it straight, isn't it, huh?
Yes, it is.
Goodness gracious.
Well, I'll tell you one thing that we've noticed with both teams. A lot of character, a lot of heart. Players are coached very well. They're very disciplined. What are you not seeing? You're not seeing penalties in these situations. You're not seeing mistakes, really mistakes. You're just seeing effort plays. It's offensive linemen having great effort. Defensive players making great effort. Receivers, quarterbacks. The effort is there. If they take nothing else away from this ballgame, sure, there's going to be some mistakes that the coach is going to look at on film, and they're going to say, hey, we could have done better here, should have done this, should have done that. But they can never question the heart of either one of these two.
Both teams are going to walk away and go, you know what? I'll go anywhere with these guys and take my chances because the effort.
And either team, one of the teams is going to lose this football game, and the team that does lose it, they're going to take that away and say, hey, we're a good football team, and we can do it.
All right, 2-point conversion to extend this game, or if it's denied, Aggies win. Fresno State at the 3 for the 2-point conversion. Brandstater. Incomplete. Texas A&M wins in triple overtime. Trying to connect with Moore, could not. A very disappointed Tom Brandstater and an elated Texas A&M Aggie football team and a crowd of 70,000 plus. Wow, what a finish. For Gary Reasons, Emily Jones, our entire crew. This is Bill Lansing, so long from Aggie Land. Don't you dare touch that remote. Coming up next, college football Saturday tripleheader continues. TCU and Texas are underway. And then it's Colorado heading to the desert for a showdown with Arizona State, all on FSN College Football Saturday. Texas A&M 47, Fresno State 45 in 3 overtimes. So long, everybody.
The first wind tunnel testing. The first power steering.